Og så, mine damer og herrer, vær venlig at rejse jer op for den danske nationalmelodi. Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding for the Danish national anthem. Så er vi, mine damer og herrer, klar til at præsentere aftenens felt. Vi starter med vores enlige reserve fra Danmark, Lasse Bjerg. Næste på listen er kører med nummer 17 fra Danmark, Nikolaj Bus Jacobsen. Kører nummer 20, ligeledes Danmark, Mikkel Bæk. Kører nummer 16, endnu en gang har vi en dansker. Han var i finalen i København. Skal vi tage godt imod Peter Killemann. Kører nummer 19, ligeledes Danmark, Michael Ebsen Jensen. Riding at number 37 from Great Britain, Chris Harris. Riding at number 100 from Sweden for Sverige, Andreas Jonsson. Kører nummer 91. Her er vi endnu en gang i Danmark. Her har vi Kenneth Bjerg. Riding at number 33 from Poland, Jaroslav Hampel. Riding at number 84, aus Deutschland, Martin Smolinski. Riding at number 75, from down under Australia, Troy Bachelor. Riding at number 66, from Sweden, for Sverige, Fredrik Lindgren. Also from down under Australia, rider number 23, Chris Holder. Riding at number 55, from Slovenia, Mataj Zagar. Rider with 507, from Poland, Krzysztof Kaspersak. Og start nummer 5 fra Danmark, og Dannebro i hånden, Nicky Pedersen. And at least, rider number 1 from Great Britain, Toy Wolfenden. er det jo sådan, mine damer og herrer, når det store løb er der masser af officials med på lægterne. The SGP Marshals, ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a big applause. Stor bifald til vores officials, mine damer og herrer, uden dem ingen Speedway.
Sensation Bartosz Smarslik admitted he was in dreamland after becoming the youngest ever FIM Speedway Grand Prix winner with victory in the Vojens SGP of Poland. It was to be a weekend of twists and turns at the top of the World Championship as the riders arrived at the Stal Vojens Arena. Firstly, there was the withdrawal of current world champion Vojens on the Friday after only 2 laps of practice with a hand injury, which in turn looked to open the door to Greg Hancock to extend his lead in the series, along with the chasing Danish duo of Nicky Pedersen and Niels Christian. Hancock had started the evening well with 9 points from 3 rides until he and Iversen clashed down at turn 2, ending with injuries that would put them both in hospital and out of the meeting. A few heats later, and Nicky Pedersen, already riding with a taped up shoulder, would crash out too, ending his efforts to gain points on the Crocs trio. So on a night of unpredictability, it was the home riders Smarslik, Zagar, Kasperzak and the lone Dave Michael Jensen who contest the final, much to the delight of the home fans. So despite being hospitalised on the night, Greg Hancock, with the withdrawal of Vojens, extends his lead to 14 points over the Englishman. Denmark's Nicky Pedersen's third, but only by a point from Poland's Krzysztof Kasperzak, who has a further 1 point advantage over Slovenian Mati Zagar. In 6th is Niels Christian Iversen, who, after his crash with Hancock in Vojens, has declared his season's over with a knee injury, and his bid to become 2014 World Champion is over. And here at the Vojens Speedway Centre, we are building up to what promises to be a fantastic night of Speedway Round 10 of the FIM World Speedway Championship, and a packed house here at this magnificent purpose-built Speedway venue. 1 or 2 interesting twists and turns, of course, in the build-up to the meeting, and lots of attention over Vojens, the reigning world champion. But in practice yesterday, nobody in Greg Hancock or Nicky Pedersen's pit corner. Vojens, though, did practice some 3 weeks after suffering a serious hand injury and a British League meeting at Eastbourne, Wolverhampton. He's declared himself ready to race. That is a major boost for his title hopes, particularly when you bear in mind that there will be no Greg Hancock for the first time in Grand Prix Speedway history. Hancock is ruled out of a meeting, but Vojens is ready to race on.
All year people have been talking about me and Greg, and you know there's 5 guys below us that are charging hard, so can't forget about them. You know, just I'm doing the same as last year, each race at a time, just try to score as many points as I can, and at the end of the year I'll either be world champion again, I'll either be on the podium or I won't.
And Vojens is in heat number 1 here. We are almost ready to race. Joining me in our commentary box once again is the former England World Cup winning Speedway skipper and former World Long Track champion, Kelvin Tatum. And Kelvin, what can you say? You cannot script what is going on here. Vojens missed the last round. Now Hancock, the leader, misses this round. It really is looking as though it's going all the way to Torun in October for this title.
Yeah, very likely indeed. Happened 2 weeks ago, of course, in Vojens. Riding so well, unbeaten at stage P14 turned up, and then that horrifying crash between ending Niels Christian so it is unnatural not to be able to agree with Greg Hancock.
Yeah, Martin Smolenski is the man in red, a winner of the opening round of this year's series in New Zealand back on April the 5th. Now, there's going to be a debut Grand Prix ride here as well for Nikolaj Busch-Jakobsen, who rides for Fjellstedt here in Denmark. He comes in here as replacement for Greg Hancock, who announced last time he would not be riding here in Vojens. So let's just mention that amazing record he's been ever present in the GP series until tonight. It's incredible.
He's not here, and we'll be going about that, but I'm sure he will work open.
Two world champions ready to do battle in the opening race of the night. Ty Woffenden is blue and Chris Holder in yellow. And the battle for the top 8 is very much on as well. Chris Holder holds that lead position right now. Darcy Ward is down to 7th, 75, and is currently ruled out through suspension. And Niels Christian Everson is in 6th, won't ride again this season. So there's a subplot there. It's all about the top 3, but also the top 8 as well. It just adds more intrigue to what has been a fascinating season so far. And round 10 of the Speedway Grand Prix is about to get underway. Here we go with your lineup for the first race of the night here at a packed Vojens Speedway Centre. Martin Smolenski goes off the inside in red. Ty Woffenden, a lot of attention and focus on him off gate 2 in blue. How will the hand hold up here? Nikolaj Busch-Jakobsen, his first ever GP ride off gate 3 in white. Former world champion Chris Holder is off the outside in yellow, currently holds that 8th spot, the all-important 8th spot for a place in next year's GP series. Kelvin Tatum, packed house, looking forward to this one.
Yeah, fabulous. That was a big moment here for the world champion. Oh, they're in the tapes! They're in the tapes. Did Smolenski hit them first? Woffenden definitely touched the tapes. Big call for the referee here, and he won. Dramatic.
Well, I thought Busch-Jakobsen was moving there as well. Have to see it again. Oh.
But it's Smolenski who moves first, and Woffenden goes with him, and they certainly, both those riders on the inside, touch the tapes. You'll see it now, he reacts because Smolenski has moved and touched the tapes, and then the world champion gets pulled in with him. Big decision right from the word go here.
Marek Wojciech is the referee.
Somebody's got to go.
Okay.
More than likely, Smolenski will be excluded.
Well, there we see a blue helmet colour. Ty Woffenden is the man who's disqualified from the opening race of the night.
I've got to see that again. Maybe I'm mistaken, but it looked like both the riders jumped there. Here we go. Smolenski on the inside. They both jumped exactly at the same time, so I can't see how you can differentiate. Woffenden moved because Smolenski was keen to get underway, but they almost touched the tapes exactly at the same moment.
Drama here. Woffenden, his priority tonight is to get through the meeting, of course. With that hand injury, but what a dreadful start for the reigning world champion. But at one stage there, all 4 riders appeared to have moved at one stage.
Well, I got to say, no, sorry to interrupt me, but I've got to say that Smolenski is very fortunate to get away with that. Very fortunate.
Well, it did appear that Smolenski and Woffenden went at the same time. But there's drama here. Just another interesting subplot.
Marek Wojciech is the referee here this evening, and that is an odd decision. A dreadful start for Ty Woffenden, of course, who put himself through the pain barrier yesterday riding in practice. Really fired up. That is not the way to start. I think that man there, Martin Smolenski, he moved, and that's the reason why Ty moved at the same time. They both touched the tapes exactly. I don't quite know how you would suggest that Woffenden was the one that touched the tapes. Maybe.
Well, you say that somebody had to go, Kel. Would there have been a case of all 4 back there?
No, when it touched the tapes, you've got to be excluded, but in some respects, maybe both of them on the inside needed to go. It was exactly at the same moment that they touched the tapes.
Dramatic start here.
Well, the place has gone, you can hear a pin drop. Watch this now. Both of them touched the tapes exactly at the same time.
Well, I'm struggling to see how you differentiate there.
Exactly. Almost looks like Smolenski touches them first, so I think the German is very fortunate.
Okay. So, interesting times here. The opening race of the night. Lassiviere in line to come in as a replacement for Ty Woffenden here.
Can you believe it? He's worked so hard to get back into the Grand Prix. In his first ride, he touches the tapes, and then 2 riders on the inside. Well, I believe what I've just seen there. But Lassiviere's in here. We've got a lot of substitutions and replacements this evening. There's quite a long list. We've got one right from the word go here this evening.
Yeah, and Lassiviere rides regularly in the UK, and no doubt looking for a jet-propelled getaway here, which he is capable of. Just another dramatic twist to this World Championship here tonight, with Ty Woffenden disqualified for touching the tapes in the opening race of the evening. But to be fair, it did appear as though Woffenden wasn't too angry with that decision. He just sat down and looked very pensive.
Rider, you know, who touched the tapes is going to get excluded, but the rider on the inside, Smolinski, touched the tapes as well.
Right, here we go. Rerun of meter number 1. Into that first turn, and Holder's made a good one from the outside with Smolinski off that inside gate, looking good. Pierre locks up. Now Holder is looking to try and come around the outside. It's very quick going into turn 3. It's Martin Smolinski with the lead. Chris Holder holds second place right now. Lassiviere challenging him hard on the inside. And Jakobsen is the man at the back. That's how it stands now after the opening lap of the meeting here.
Yeah, it is indeed. Smolinski made a good start from the inside, and Holder was very nearly there. Just couldn't quite get round the outside. He's now shot back to the inside because Pierre was pushing hard at the end of the first lap. Smolinski will hold that inside. He's quite fast rider when it comes to the right line. We saw that in the UK last year from the Birmingham Promise. He's really come quite a hardest man, and he's now in front, looking good for a win in his first ride here.
Yeah, Martin Smolinski kicking on here. Chris Holder holding that second spot right now. This one, Holder on to 72 points, just 3 behind his fellow Australian Darcy Ford, who's sitting this meeting out through suspension. Smolinski with a good start for him. Whether you believe he's fortunate to be back in the race or not, he's taken advantage. He's got the victory in the opening race of the night. A few German supporters here enjoying the action tonight as well.
Yeah, he's
second place there.
He's delighted with that, of course he is, but he is fortunate to be in the race. But at times sport can be cruel, and it was cruel for the world champion there in the first race. Smolinski takes the second chance with both hands.
Here we go, Martin Smolinski, the winner with Chris Holder second. Lassiviere was third, and at the back was Nikolai Buss-Jakobsen, the reserve who was promoted into the meeting yesterday following the unfortunate withdrawal of Greg Hancock, who we wish all the very best, of course. Greg Hancock, the twice world champion and current series leader. What a great ride from Martin Smolinski to open the meeting for him.
Yeah, well, after winning in New Zealand the opening round of this year's campaign, he has found Grand Prix Speedway very tough indeed, but here in Heat 1 he makes a super getaway. He's under a lot of pressure initially from Chris Holder, who looked like, for all intents and purposes, that he was going to get round the outside of the German here, but there's no grip out there early on in the middle of the track, and the inside line is where it's at. And Holder has to then ride defensively as the second lap starts, because Lassiviere there in the blue helmet colour was making that move on the inside. Former world champion, of course, Holder's been in good form of late. He's been winning some meetings on the continent and scoring lots of points for his Polish club. But Smolinski out in front, he'll be pleased with this. 3 points to his name. A super start for him.
Yeah, good stuff from Martin Smolinski a long, long time ago now, since the opening round of the current campaign in New Zealand, in Auckland, and what a performance. It was a fairy tale start to his GP career.
Absolutely nice. With a shadow of some pace. When you look at the riders outside, it's so tightly compacted there, and you've got 2 riders in Ward and Everson dropping out. Smolinski is still fighting for his Grand Prix life.
Missed opportunity for Woffenden in the opening race. Now, if Pedersen can win this, he'll go within 2 of Woffenden. Nicky Pedersen is well and truly in this world title hunt. Can he get to title number 4? What an achievement that'll be. Anna Campbell going off the inside in red, struggling for form and confidence right now in the GP. Pedersen off gate 2, his fellow countryman Kenneth Pierre on home shale off gate 3 here in white. Andreas Jonsson, disappointing year he's had, is off the outside in yellow.
Yeah, he has. You're right about Nicky Pedersen. It would be a massive achievement if he were to win his 4th World Championship this year. Still struggling a little bit with the shoulder. There's no doubt about that. Road Holstead recently didn't practice here, so they know the place inside out. Gate 2, keep your eyes on Nicky Pedersen.
Here we go. Again, a very nervy, edgy start. Pedersen's got there though from the gate 2. Here comes Pierre around the outside. yet again here. Nicky Pedersen with that lead then. Second place is Andreas Johnson. Kenneth Pierre is third. And Jarek Campbell is struggling yet again here.
Yeah, confidence lacking in him quite clearly. You can see there. It's working hard yesterday, but what a fabulous start it was from gate 2 for Nicky Pedersen. And he didn't pressure him, he knows this place so well, and he's looking good out in front. Kenneth Pierre, who's had some good form recently, is charging hard in third. He's shot to the inside and wants to make that great move early on. Another pressure from Pierre. Good race from the second and third. Pedersen's got it all under control. Pierre has come nicely through in the second place. Good ride.
Yeah, great ride from Kenneth Pierre. Johnson is still winding it on and trying absolutely everything down the back straight. Great speedway for second and third here. But no doubt about the leader, Nicky Pedersen. And down to the line for second place. Pierre just about skips there. It's a Danish 1-2 here in Vojens. The fans are absolutely loving that. And with that win, Nicky Pedersen is now 2 points behind Ty Woffenden in the World Championship race, 16 behind Greg Hancock, the series leader, who, we remind you, will not ride tonight.
Yeah, that was a super ride from Nicky Pedersen. He did everything right. He did the hard yards, getting the bike to the first corner out of gate 2, and he was comfortable out in front. And a terrific effort from Kenneth Pierre in second.
Nicky Pedersen, the winner, with Kenneth Pierre second. Andreas Johnson was third. Jarek Campbell at the back, and the world number 2 has been on a worrying run of form.
Indeed he has, and I don't really know why it is. He's lost his confidence, and he didn't score a point in Gorjov 2 weeks ago. This man there struggled in Gorjov, but he picked up points. But I tell you what, that was a very impressive opening ride from the 3-time world champion. He's renowned for his starting capabilities, and we can see it here in full flow. Terrific out of gate 2, hucks the inside round the first corner, just losing the throttle when he charges down the back straight. A good move initially from Andreas Johnson when he charged up the inside and got the better of Pierre, but I'd say Pierre just had more speed and was able to figure it out after a couple of laps and got himself nicely into second place. It was a race right to the checker flag for second and third, and fair play to those two boys. They put on a good show. Early doors, I've got to say, the track looks quite a lot slicker and drier than yesterday. It's been a beautiful day and the wind's been up, so it has dried the surface out. But Nicky will be pleased with that. That's a great way to start.
Yep, great start for that man, and he knows how important it was as well. Nicky Pedersen, 3 times world champion, and in the title hunt very much so once again this year. And here at this Vojens Speedway Centre tonight, a massive crowd. In fact, the word is, information, it could well prove to be the biggest crowd for a Grand Prix here at Vojens tonight.
You know, it reminds me of World Final days back in the 80s when they were, Hans Nielsen, Eric Goodmanson were at the height of their powers. A fabulous turnout, beautiful weather, terrific atmosphere.
Yep, Hans Nielsen, Eric Goodmanson, both here tonight. Danish world champions, of course. Olsen, Kenneth Pedersen, and Nicky Pedersen. Chris Harris goes off the inside in red. Matti Zegar off gate 2 in blue. Christoph Kasperzak gate 3 in white, and Nickelbeck will be looking to make a good impression here off the outside. But Christoph Kasperzak very much in form.
Indeed he is. So is Zegar, the two boys from gate 2 and 3. They're riding really well right now.
So the take right going into that first turn. Zegar's got there. That's a lovely move from him. And now Beck goes up the inside, and Nickelbeck has come through. Gate number 4, and now Kasperzak up the inside. That's ruthless from Christoph Kasperzak, but he's got that second spot. Zegar from Kasperzak, from Nickelbeck, and Chris Harris of Great Britain is at the back.
Well, yesterday watching practice, these two riders out in front, 1 and 2, Zegar and Kasperzak, were the most impressive on the view. And now they're replicating it in their first race. Once again, gate 2 working very nicely, and Zegar is fast out in front. Hasn't raced here very much, but if at all, in actual fact, so a hard charging move early in the race line to get into second place. Beck being relegated to third, and Harris out the back, and Zegar silky smooth in front.
So put Zegar on 94 points, Pedersen on 96. Kasperzak will be on 94 with his second spot as well. Woffenden on 98. It's all very tight here in the World Speedway Championship. Matti Zegar with a fantastic ride, the Slovenian in the blue helmet colour. And second place there, Christoph Kasperzak. Nickelbeck working hard in third. It's a great win, and this is bunching up. We could go away from here tonight, Kelvin, with 5 riders in the world title race with two rounds to go.
Yeah, I think you could well be right there. It's all concertinaing up beautifully, and Zagar in Heat 3 was absolutely majestic.
Zagar the winner, with Christoph Kasperzak second, Mikkel Beck was third, and Chris Harris of Great Britain at the back. A busy man, Chris, had 2 meetings at a double-header. Coventry last night, rode beautifully, and then an early flight out here to Denmark today. Matti Zagar, he's the man here in blue.
Indeed he is, and he makes full advantage of gate 2, which has worked well for Nicky Pedersen and for Zagar, and he has a trouble-free run. This is the action in the race, with Beck initially making a super move up the inside, but Kasperzak, well, I tell you what, he just ruthlessly charges up the inside going into turn 3, and Beck just has to get out of the way. Welcome to Grand Prix, Michael Beck. Certainly Kasperzak showed him what it's all about. Zagar out in front was really enjoying himself. Bike set up quite a lot slicker than yesterday, I think. It's drier and there's a bit of dust kicking up from the rear tyre. Zagar starts in fine style. I think it's going to have a good night.
Now, the next racing before we have Michael Jensen, who is now in his 7th GP. In the previous 6, he's been to 2 finals, and he's won 1 of them, and that was here in Vojens a couple of years ago.
He stole it away from Nicky Pedersen that night, who looked, for all intents and purposes, he was going to win here, but late on in the race, Michael Jensen passed him, won on debut, his first Grand Prix, won the World Cup that year for the Danish team as well, so he has plenty of pedigree. But there's another man out here as well, who's going to be an entertainer as well. Kilderman the wild card on gate 1 night. I think it could be quite an exciting night.
Yeah, I think we're agreed, Kelvin. Whenever we see Peter Killerman in action, we really enjoy Peter Killerman, and really this track should be suited to Killerman. The style that he's got is spectacular. Looking forward to seeing him race tonight. Peter Killerman off the inside, Troy Batchelor's alongside him, and those 2 are teammates with Swin and Robbins in the playoffs coming up in a couple of weeks' time in the UK. Michael Jensen, gate 3 in white. Freddie Lindgren, Swede, going off the outside in yellow.
Yeah, and Lindgren was another rider. There was 6 riders in practice yesterday, and Lindgren was one of them. He's just outside the top 8. So Lindgren, 3 left, realistic chance of getting it.
Here we go, heat number 4 it is, and Killerman's made a good start on 1, and he's got that lead. That was ruthless, the way he just shoved Jensen to one side. Lindgren's trying to round the outside, and here comes Jensen on the inside to challenge for a second spot. But Peter Killerman, the wild card here in Vojens tonight, has that lead. Lindgren charging hard, trying to get the better of Jensen. Batchelor's at the back right now, but that's a clever move from Jensen, who holds second place now. But Peter Killerman kicking on and looking good.
Yeah, ruthless in the first corner. He slogged off because he took no risks at all, and he stamps his authority on that first turn, and now on the race. Jensen has ridden well to get the better of Freddie Lindgren to get into second place, and Jensen went up to come on the top in the latter part of the race. He made a mistake there, but he's got second place in his pocket. But Peter Kilderman, the wild card, really an eye-catching rider, looking terrific out in front.
Yeah, Kilderman with that lead there. Second place here, Jensen, it's a Danish 1-2. Here in Vojens, Lindgren was third. Batchelor at the back, and the Danish flags are flying high all around this venue here in a real speedway heartland. We are, of course, at a brand new venue in this part of the world next year, a football stadium, which we're going to be looking forward to.
Yeah, looking
next
forward
year.
to it.
Yep. And well, Peter Killerman feeling very much at home here at Vojens tonight. So, heat number 4, just to confirm the result for you, Killerman, Jensen, Lindgren, and Troy Batchelor at the back. The race winners so far from the opening round of races: Nicky Pedersen, Matti Zagar, Martin Smolinski, and Peter Killerman.
Yeah, super ride from Peter Kilderman. He used that inside gate. He was threw the bike into the first corner, and that took care of Jensen, who had to take avoiding action in that early part of the race. Kilderman had a lot of speed out in front. Good attendance here. We've seen the tanks go up, and as they come roaring towards the first corner, there's the move from Peter Kilderman. He takes that first corner and he makes it his. Freddie Lindgren was into second place very early on, but Michael Jensen looked full of intent here. Desperately wanted to get into second place, and so it proved. Lindgren battled throughout the 4 laps, but couldn't get himself back to second place. Unfortunately for Troy Batchelor, he had some sort of issue. He was there in the thick of it early on, but late on in the race he looked like he was struggling with some sort of but problem either a puncture or a mechanical issue, not quite sure what it was, but super stuff from Peter Kittelman.
Yeah, good stuff from Peter Kittelman. It's the 4th time he's appeared in a Speedway Grand Prix. Scored 19 points before tonight. He's got into a Speedway Grand Prix final as well in his career. Lovely sunset here in Vojens tonight, and delighted to see such a big crowd because it's we're back here after a 2-year break. We weren't here last year, and there was a lot of talk about Vojens and the fact that they didn't put a Grand Prix on last year, but they have bounced back in some style here with the crowd levels. It's fantastic to see. Now Chris Louis is with Martin Smolinski.
Martin, winner of heat number 1. It's been a tough series since Auckland, but that was a great way to start the Vojens Grand Prix.
Of course, it's the first time I've been here in Vojens, but we made some big changes before the meeting, and big thanks to my engine tuner, Mr. Grosebechter, Tornado Racing Parts, and the babies are quick at the moment. I feel very well on the bikes, and hopefully we can have the speed still in the heat 20, or maybe 2023, we will see.
How did you find track conditions out there suiting you?
Track is quite good. It's very smooth, very nice. There's some grip out there. It goes a bit slick now, so we'll see what's happening. But I think it's very nice track, and it will be some very interesting racing out there today.
Great start, well done, Martin.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, good ride from Martin Smolinski. I do hark back to the decision by the referee in Heat 1. I don't agree with it. I think he should have been excluded. He touched the tapes, and that's what the rule suggests. And if Wolfen got excluded, well, I don't understand why Smolinski shouldn't have been at the same time.
Two should have gone?
I think so, unless the rule is written differently. You can only exclude one, but both of them hit the tapes.
At the same time?
At the same time. So it's harsh on the world champion. Michael Jensen, no, he'll be pleased with his opening effort. 1 or 2 changes. Track conditions significantly slicker than yesterday. Much drier also. The track almost could do with the water. We've got some, the water truck's out now, so we will get a smack on the track, and that will do it the world of good. And Zagar started in fine style. He's a rider that is in good form, and it's looking good for him this evening, and I've got to say he's one of the favourites for win tonight.
So you mentioned it needs water here. There's normally no shortage of water in this place.
Absolutely.
From the sky.
Very rare to be here on a sunny evening.
It's lovely,
which is
isn't
a real
it?
bonus, yes, because notoriously Vojens can be, as you say, being under a deluge. Comes off the North Sea and just dumps its load on the Vojens. So yeah, delighted to be here. It's going to get chillier later on, but we've got a terrific atmosphere. The Danish crowd are going to be enjoying themselves because there's plenty of Danish riders in the show.
Nicky Pedersen with a taped-up shoulder. His dislocation about 3 weeks or so ago now.
Riding in Poland.
Yep.
The Elite Riders Championship there, just got hooked up and running on for the nasty injury.
Now let's hear from Peter Kittelman with Chris Louis.
Peter Kittelman, winner of heat number 4. A fantastic start and a very hard first turn.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a bit slick out there, to be fair, but I make the start and stay on the inside. Everybody's quick there, but I managed to get the 3 points. That's really good. It's
reported to be the biggest crowd here for a Grand Prix in Vojens, and maybe it adds a little bit of pressure, but it'd be nice to perform for these guys tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. It's amazing out here. The weather is so perfect. So that's really good.
And as a wild card, you can be pretty relaxed, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I don't need the points really. I just need the points to get in the semis, and we will see.
Great start, well done.
Cheers.
Yeah, good ride from Peter Kilderman, and as we built up to that race, he was, he's a rider that we enjoy watching. He's in good form, and there's no doubt he's got a big future because he doesn't take any prisoners at all in Grand Prix Speedway, does he? He's very ruthless and forthright in his riding. He's got an unusual style, but it's good to watch, and he makes it work. Wolfenden having to be very patient. He's got to wait until he's 6 when he comes down for a second ride. I think he knew that he had to go. That's why there was no argument from him. You touch the tapes, it's quite clear. But he could have done without that.
Yeah, but I think when he sees the footage of it, he'll also think, well, hang on a minute, if I had to go, then what about Smolinski as well? But significantly in that heat one as well, there was the youngster Nikolai Jakobsen got into the tapes as well. But what's done is done, and we look forward to heat number 5 now. They've done a few laps with the grader. They've put some water down as well. And, looking forward to heat number 5 coming up. Hancock, 112 points. Championship time is on 98. Nicky Pedersen's on 96. Christoph Kasperzak, 94. It's brilliant. It's great for the series.
Oh yeah, absolutely. For the neutral, it's absolutely ideal because Greg Hancock looked like he was running away with it in Vojens, unbeaten after 3 rides. It was all going so well for him. And then just out of nowhere, suddenly a stark reminder of how tough the field is in the nasty incident and giving opportunities for riders to really push their case forward. Kasperzak being one, he's coming out for his second ride here.
So, heat number 5 coming up then. Swansky in the blue and the colour winner of heat number 1. To build on that here. Now, Yara Campbell, this is a mystery. What on earth is going on with Yara Campbell?
I just don't understand it. He's a He's got no rub of the green early on. Staggeringly won there. Vojens, and he's desperate. He's outside the top 8. He needs to, find the confidence and find it clear.
He does. Here you see Freddie Lindgren in red. He's got a great chance of a top 8 place now. What it's going to do, it's going to mean that there's riders that perhaps otherwise, apart from injuries, would not have got in the top 8, and perhaps wouldn't have got a pick either. And it's going to put pressure on the organisers to make sure that the 4 riders who get a pick for next season are absolutely spot on. It's just another interesting conundrum.
I don't envy the people that have to make that decision, because as you rightly say, so many permutations right now with injuries and suspension. Riders that possibly may have missed out have an opportunity to get in the top 8. So yeah, lots of debate coming up in the future for sure.
So here we go with heat number 5 then. Freddie Lindgren off the inside in red, Martin Smolinski gate 2 in blue, Yara Campbell gate 3 in white, and Christoph Kasperzak off the outside in yellow. There's much talk and debate about who will finish in the top 8, who will get a pick next season. It's an interesting one. Yara Campbell currently 12th. Would he get a pick as a former world number 2? Intriguing. The organisers in the winter, that's for sure. Lindgren's made a good start from Kasperzak from gate number 4. Christoph Kasperzak on the outside gate. Lindgren is second, Smolinski is third, and Yara Campbell once again looking so slow at the back of the race. But Christoph Kasperzak has that advantage. Lindgren is second. Third place right now is Martin Smolinski, and Christoph Kasperzak is on his way to 98 points. He's going to pull level with Ty Woffenden with this win.
Indeed he will, and he'll be pleased that he's out in front because it's quite greasy out there. They've got lots of water on in that track preparation time, and it was big greasy, and riders behind him are really covered in shell. Smolinski, particularly in third place, you won't recognise him at the end of this. Completely covered with Kasperzak. Fabulous starts on the outside, and he's started out in front. Smolinski, got to say, he's having a really good go in third place, and Lindgren has had to ride quite defensively there, but Kasperzak is in race.
Now there's a length of the straight between the leader and Yara Campbell, the man at the back. It really is astonishing. Kasperzak's got time to look over his shoulder as he goes over the finish line. And it's a super ride from Christoph Kasperzak now, with 5 points from his opening 2 rides. And I did say that he's going to pull level here with Ty Woffenden. Not quite. My calculations let me down there. I was never very good at maths at school. He's a point behind Ty Woffenden now, but you get the gist. He's riding well. He's in a great position. And it was a fantastic ride from Christoph Kasperzak. Freddie Lindgren's not too happy with Kasperzak though for some reason. There's a bit of a showdown heading back to the pits area here now.
You know what it's all about.
Oh, Freddie Lindgren's really having a go here. Struggling to see what that was all about. Maybe the first turn perhaps, but
It must have been early in the race because Kasperzak disappeared after that, but Freddie clearly very fired up and unhappy about what happened at the end of the race. But I'd have to see it again to see why, because I didn't see too much wrong with it the first time.
Well, the results of heat number 5 is a win for Christoph Kasperzak. Second place was Freddie Lindgren, and third was Martin Smolinski, with Yara Campbell once again at the back. It's 5 points out of 6 now for Christoph Kasperzak from his 2 rides so far, and he has gone to the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, and an impressive style, and with the track preparation and the water on the track, just a few smiles in his camber. Sure, he's not quite sure. Here he comes charging across from the outside. Freddie Lindgren on the inside, and they go round that first corner and down the back straight here. Didn't look anything wrong with that at all. Freddie Lindgren now into second place, coming under pressure from the German Martin Smolinski, who won his first race. Was it right at the end of the race that he was upset with? But I don't understand what it was all about. But Kasperzak wins in fine style, 5 points to his name. And I'm not quite sure why Frederick Lindgren got himself a bit upset at the end of it. But Kasperzak, 5 out of 6, is a solid start to tonight's Grand Prix.
Certainly is. Good stuff from him then as we move on to heat number 6, and we have the reigning champion here in this one going from gate number 3, looking to get points on the board but riding through the pain barrier. Remember, Ty Woffenden is going off gate number 3. This is Kenneth Pierre, who's had a good run of results in the GP of late, and he goes off the outside in the yellow helmet colour on 60 points and still time ahead to claw his way to the top 8. 3 riders who've yet to score here. Batchelor off the inside, Harris off gate 2, Ty Woffenden gate 3, Kenneth Pierre going off the outside.
Well, far from ideal for Ty Woffenden. He hasn't done a lap so far, so yeah, he's got no real feel for the track. Freddie Lindgren is very upset about something when we're a little bit confused what it is all about. So I'm sure in the fullness of time we may get to know, but let's focus our attentions on heat 6. 3 riders without scoring, but this time Woffenden needs to be patient, needs to get involved, needs some points.
Here we go, heat number 6 it is. He's not made the best of starts, Woffenden there, it's Batchelor who's made a goal, and Woffenden's gone down in the first turn. Woffenden is down, and it's Batchelor who has the lead, and the red lights have come on straight away.
What a nightmare start for tonight's meeting for the world champion.
It's the last thing he needs, and he's clearly in discomfort, Ty Woffenden now, with that left hand.
Yep, and it's always, you always knock your injury when you fall off, and not rushing to his feet. He's uncomfortable, he didn't make a good start, had a little bit of contact with Chris Harris here, front wheel gets a clip from him and he goes down. Doesn't actually hit his hand, but his hand is very badly damaged.
He's going to have to go for that, Ty Woffenden.
Now, will he be able to take the rerun? Would it be all 4 back? It was unintentional from Harris and the contact between the 2, but it did.
Well, he's given all 4 back.
Yeah, I'm not surprised because the contact...
I thought Woffenden might have gone there.
No, there's contact between him and Harris as Harris turns and it unsettles the front of the bike. I think it's the right decision from the referee. And you'll see the contact here, Nige, with the front tyre there. It just unsettles him on the way in and he's given him the opportunity to be back in the race.
Okay, well, he's walking back, but quite clearly he's in a lot of discomfort, Ty Woffenden, and he will walk slowly back to give himself as much time as possible. But you have to ask the question, really, can he handle this now? Can he get through this? Can he get back to the start? He didn't make the best of starts there, Kelvin, but again, we have to reiterate that he does have 2 dislodged knuckles in his left hand.
Yeah, he has, and it's a serious injury, and you know it's an awkward one, and it's on the left hand where you've got to be able to have the dexterity in your hand to be able to use the clutch, and then of course you've got to be able to hang on to the handlebar sufficiently. And there is no doubt the broken collarbone last year, he coped with that very well, and the collarbone was very painful, but he still had enough strength in his arm to be able to hang on. And what I'm concerned about is that it appears to be very precarious how much strength that there is in that hand, and he's not rushing back to the paddock as you say now. And I think there's a question mark over whether he's fit enough to be able to race it tonight.
What is going through Woffenden's mind now?
Should I be here?
His main mechanic, Jacko, has just sprinted back to the pits, which suggests that they're going to get the bike ready. Peter Adams, who's his Wolverhampton team manager in the UK, and with Bo Weybrand, the Lambda team manager as well. Very concerned about Ty, but as I say, his mechanic has sprinted back to the pits.
He hasn't taken his helmet off. He's obviously going to give himself the opportunity to go to the States for the restaging of this heat 6, but a lot of concern, and this is such an integral part of the sport now, unfortunately. The injuries, we see them on a regular occurrence, and you know, with world championships on the line and Hancock not being here, it is a terrific opportunity for Ty to close in possibly back-to-back world titles. you know, he's worked awfully hard. He's done everything in the press building up to this event. He says there's no stone unturned coming into this event. He's doing the very best, but that hand hurts. That hand hurts.
He's had daily treatment at a sports injury specialist in Aldridge in the West Midlands in the UK, which is close to his Wolverhampton home track. Steve Williams, the sports injury specialist, and as you say, it's the dislodged knuckles 3 and 4 in his left hand, rather than the break in the hand that's causing the problem. That's the last thing Woffington needs, isn't it?
He's had a nightmare start, touching the tape with exclusion, so no knowledge of the track, and everybody around him has had 4 laps, and then he has that slight contact with Harris going into the first corner there with the front wheel, unsettles him. Not much strength in the left hand anyway, and that really does give it a really good launch as he goes down on the track, and that's the last thing he needed. It really is the last thing. It's been the worst possible start to tonight's event for the world champion, but he is made of stern stuff. We know he's got a lot of backbone, Nigel, and a lot of character, but this is going to test it to its nth degree here.
Well, the glove goes back on, so he's going to give it a go.
They're generous with the time.
Okay.
They are generous with the time. Because the bike wasn't really damaged. He went down relatively easily, didn't he? There was no real... We're 2 minutes on now.
Just come on now. Yep. Well, we must emphasise that the time allowance is put on by the race director Tony Olsen and not by the referee. In Grand Prix Speedway, the race director has to say on when the 2 minutes time allowance goes on. So he was generous there, Kel. That, of course, is not the decision of the referee. That's down to the race director. And it's going to be intriguing now to see how Woffington does here. Heat number 6. I know we're focusing on time, perhaps that's detracting from Troy Batchelor, Chris Harris and Kevin Pierre, but it is one of the major stories of the GP. The reigning world champion is the chance for the world title, and he's badly injured, still hoping to win it again.
Yeah, he's going to give himself every chance. Teamwork is beautifully hard. I've got to say his bike preparation is second to none. Last few seconds here before he goes out, far from happy. I don't think his mind can be completely focused on the job. That hand already, he's got his left foot off the handlebar, so there's no doubt that is awfully uncomfortable.
Look how tight it is now. Greg on 112, and let's keep our fingers crossed. It's all very ironic saying that because it's finger injuries left, right and centre. But let's not funny go. Let's hope that Greg is going to be back for Stockholm in a couple of weeks' time. Yeah, Troy Batchelor on the inside in red, Chris Harris gate 2 in blue, Ty Woffington gate 3 in white, and Kenneth Pierre off the outside in yellow.
He needs to run to the first corner, Nigel. He needs to drop the clutch and then hope the bike drives into the first corner and he gets a smooth ride. I think if he can settle down in front and get a couple of laps under his belt, he's going to feel an awful lot better around the proceedings here this evening. Concern on the chief mechanic, Jacko, there, who is so conscientious, it's quite frightening. They really do a marvellous job for him. He's got a great team of mechanics. Here we go,
Second time of asking, and it's Batchelor who's got the early advantage. Harris is going to try the inside line. Woffington is going high and wide around the outside. Has a quick look over, and Harris has closed the door. It's Batchelor with the lead now. Woffington chasing hard after Chris Harris, and Kenneth Pierre has come through on the inside. Woffington's at the back, but Troy Batchelor riding quite beautifully here now.
Yeah, Batchelor out in front had a very frustrating opening ride where he had some sort of problem with the score. Woffington's got speed, but has he got the strength to hang on? So Harris in second place, Kenneth Pierre now trying the outside run, and Harris slams the door shut as they go across the start-finish line. Woffington's in the race, but unfortunately not in a full scoring position. Yeah, brilliantly round the outside of Harris. It's coming.
Troy Batchelor has been riding quite beautifully of late, and he's got this race well and truly under control. Kenneth Pierre is second, Chris Harris is third, and Woffington, you can see quite clearly, he's struggling badly in the back now. His head down on that back straight, and take nothing away from Troy Batchelor of Australia. Super ride from him, from Pierre, from Chris Harris, and Ty Woffington takes his left hand off the handlebar as he goes over the finish line. You can but wonder whether Ty is actually going to finish this meeting tonight, Kelvin.
Yeah, it is a huge question mark over it. I think at best it's 50-50. He had speed at some stage there, he was in the race, but clearly he is struggling big time, and whether he comes out for his third ride, I think that would be a massive question mark over it.
Batchelor, Pierre, Harris and Woffington, the finishing order there. It does mean now that after a couple of rides for those boys, Pierre goes on a 4. Batchelor gets his first points on the board with that win. 3 points to his name, but look at Ty Woffenden, 15th place, no points. It's all going horribly wrong for the reigning champion.
Tough night for the champion, and I'm sure there's going to have to be some hard thinking here. Doesn't make a good start, spins up out of the tape. He then looks for that run round the outside to try and have a bit of good fortune. Maybe it'll work and he could just slingshot off the first corner, but you can see there the tentative. He's tentative down that back straight with Harris charging up the inside. It's World Championship Speedway. Nobody's going to give you anything out there. Pierre rides well to get the better of Harris and get himself into second place. Here we see it sweetly around the outside. As you rightly say, Batchelor was overlooked here because of the concern for the world champion, but Batchelor fighting for his Grand Prix future. A race win is just what the doctor ordered, and I think he needs to see a doctor, Ty Woffenden, because he is struggling.
Okay, Troy Batchelor. He is a super rider, Troy Batchelor, we know that, and he's been in a great run of form for Swindon in the Elite League, but Woffenden is clearly feeling it. Well, you can see the pain written all over his face.
It doesn't look good, does it?
No, not at all.
What an opportunity for Nicky Pedersen also, Nigel.
Oh, just a bit. Well, Nicky Pedersen's on 96 points, and a win here, and he will overhaul Ty Woffenden in the World Championship and go second, and then there'll be a question really of how close Pedersen and Kasperzak and Zagar can get to Greg Hancock by the end of tonight.
Well, this is a hell of a race. You've got 3 races here, Nigel. It's very competitive.
Here we go, heat number 7 it is. Then off the inside, it's Matti Zagar, a super winner in his opening ride. Peter Kellerman, the spectacular Peter Kellerman off 2. Nicky Pedersen goes off gate 3 in white. Nikolai Busk-Jakobsen rides for Fjellsted here in Denmark. Rides for Krakow in the Polish second league, and rides occasionally in the German league as well.
Yeah, big race for him. Quite a daunting race for the young Jakobsen on the outside. But 3 races here. Peter Kilderman is very impressive. As was Zagar, so something to give. Peter excellent so far. Very competitive.
Here we go, looking forward to this one. It's number 7 ball. Movement to the start once again. Zagar's made a good one. So has Pedersen. Oh! There was a little bit of contact in that first turn. Pedersen, there's no room there down the back straight. Oh, how's he staying on his bike? Goodness me. Zagar now from Kilderman is the man. Peter Kellerman has the lead. And now Zagar is being hunted down by Nicky Pedersen. But goodness me, I thought we were running the risk of yet another injury in the GP there.
Peter Kilderman taking no prisoners. Charges to the front. What an opening lap for the wild card. Zagar's fast in second place. How on earth Nicky Pedersen stayed on the bike down the back straight? A miracle. Zagar coming hard at Peter Kilderman, who's looking good now. It's a super race. A dramatic opening lap to this heat, no question. Peter Kilderman looking good.
Well, Kelvin, you called it. You said this could be the race of the night. It's been pretty entertaining so far, down the back straight, and it's going to be interesting to see the reaction of the riders once they've gone past the checkered flag. Peter Kellerman, the wild card with a win, sends the Danish fans wild. Matti Zagar was second, Nicky Pedersen third, and the man at the back was Nikolai Busk-Jakobsen. But now Nicky Pedersen is charging forward at high speed down the back straight, and he's just, well, is he angry or is it?
Well, I was wondering whether if the fans were going wild. I wonder whether Nicky Pedersen's going wild under that helmet. He's going to have a word. Bit tight down the back straight.
Oh, hello. Here we go.
I don't think it was too bad. I think it was a tough racing and nobody came down, but very entertaining. And Peter Kilderman, once again, proving that he is Mr. Entertainer.
When Peter Kilderman's around, close your eyes and hope for the best. Zagar second, Nicky Pedersen third, and Busk-Jakobsen at the back. Now, Peter Kilderman, wild card, 6 out of 6. And we recall only a fortnight ago, wild card in Korzów, Bartosz Marslik won the meeting.
Yep, and the omens are good. Here we see it, Pedersen and Kilderman just charging into that first corner, and Kilderman takes no prisoners. He slams the door shut here.
Oh!
Nicky Pedersen, he's hurt, he's injured. He's riding up the fence down the back straight on the opening lap. Look how close it is. Kilderman absolutely committed here. Takes care of Pedersen down the back straight by this move. Nicky Pedersen, trying to get round there, slams into the fence, incredible! How does he stay on? And then Peter Kilderman then takes care of Zagar and gets round the outside. That was fantastic action on the opening lap. Kilderman coming under pressure from Zagar, wins the race in spectacular fashion. Nicky Pedersen, thumbs up, fair play, good sportsmanship.
Okay, that being the case, then great, good stuff. Good to see it. And,
I'll tell you what, he was lucky to get away with that, Nige, because he was out of control on that back straight. Just shows you how committed Nicky Pedersen is, isn't he? He hardly backed off. He backed off momentarily and then wound the throttle back on again. He wants a 4-foot top.
just a little bit. Well, drama in the extreme in Vojens.
Got to admire that, though.
Dear, oh dear. Absolutely brilliant. Great speedway race, and thank goodness they all stayed on their machine.
Yeah, that was good to see.
I thought it was going to end in tears at one stage there. Chris Holder goes off the inside here in red. Andreas Johnson gate 2 in blue. Mikkel Beck goes off gate 3 in white. Michael Jensen. Michael Jensen, one of the club of the other Danish riders that the system here on the system they've got. And Holder's made a good start, and so is Johnson. And Holder's now come to the back, would you believe? It's Andreas Johnson, and Holder challenging for second, but coming through down that back straight, charging hard is Mikkel Beck. It's Chris Holder in third now. Holder's going to try and challenge Mikkel Beck, but it's Johnson with a good ride here from Mikkel Beck, from Chris Holder, from Michael Jensen.
Yeah, superstar from AJ, and now he's out in front. He looks very impressive. Good stuff also from Mikkel Beck to take care of Chris Holder, the opening lap there, who comes through into second place. And Jensen just missed out early doors, and he's out the back. Andreas Johnson, so disappointing this year, is looking really good out in front. Can he turn his fortunes around here tonight?
14th of the 15 permanent riders in the GP series for Andreas Johnson. He's a better rider than that.
Yeah.
But quite clearly it's been a poor year for him, but this is the real Andreas Johnson that we know.
Agreed.
He's capable of, very fast rider and very stylish as well. AJ, Andreas Johnson takes that checkered flag. Good ride from Mikkel Beck, absolutely, I agree with you there, Kelvin. Super ride from Mikkel Beck in second. Chris Holder was third, and Mikkel Jensen Duda at the back.
Say again?
In the yellow helmet colour. Michael Jensen is his name, and he finished at the back. So, heat number 8, great stuff. Andreas Johnson with a fantastic ride from the Swede, and of course he'll be looking forward to Stockholm in a couple of weeks' time at the Friends Arena. Johnson, Mikkel Beck, Chris Holder, and that man Michael Beck Jensen. Michael Jensen at the back. 4 points to Andreas Johnson. Michael Beck, 9th. I need a bit of lie down, folks.
Yeah, super ride, yeah. We'll get over that, yeah. Andreas Johnson's a bit more straightforward, isn't it, AJ? We can cope with that. And this is why he won the race. He makes a really good start. Mikkel Beck, I've got to say, initially made a good start from gate 3, but can't quite get there. Holder then challenges Mikkel Beck Jensen down the back straight, but Holder, the former world champion, gets relegated to third place, and it's a battle. But AJ, good to see him fast, and after such a disappointing campaign, this is more like it. He's a fast rider. He's a former world number 2. He's a multiple Grand Prix winner, this man. He has a great CV, and really and truly no real surprise for him to win a race in that type of fashion. So good for him.
I think that's why we almost labour the point about AJ, and more recently Jarek, because we know what superb riders they can be. They've proved it time and again.
Yeah, world number 2, Jarek Hempel, and now finding points extremely hard to come by. More track preparation going on now as we speak. The fans enjoying this action. Got quite lively in that last round of heats, no question about that. And, absolutely delighted to see so many people here. It's the heartbed of the heartland of Speedway, Jutland for Denmark. And, they've come out in their thousands here to support the race.
Yeah, good to see indeed. There's a fantastic atmosphere. This, of course, is the venue where it was the last ever one-off world final in 1994, which was decided in a runoff between Tony Rickardsson and was there a third rider, Craig Boyce?
Yes, there was.
There you go, 1994. It was a wonderful night. One man who was in that meeting was Chris Louis. He is our man in the pits tonight. He's got Christoph Kitzbühel.
Christoph, gate 4 straight after the break, a lot of water on the track, very important to make a start, and you did just that.
Yeah, we prepared bikes for the start because it's long way to the inside and many stones, many water, very slick, but I'm make a little bit flat bikes and I win this.
A lot of riders yesterday chose not to practice, but you put in every single lap possible, worked very hard. It's paying off so far tonight.
Yeah, I'm now race 1 week because now Sweden now finished and I need some race, and I test free engine from Jonesy and working good. This engine win challenge in pool. Track is similar like pool, and I hope so will be work tonight too.
Great start to the meeting, well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's looking good, and that man there, there's massive concern, massive concern. Will he be able to take his place in his third ride? There's a grimace on his face. He is very uncomfortable, and it's quite clearly, with all the nerve endings in your hand, it's very, very tentative, very, very painful.
I can only believe that Ty will be doing this, Kelvin, with the belief that he can still be world champion. Once that belief goes, he might as well stay at home and rest it.
Yes, I have to agree with that.
Troy Batchelor is with Chris Louis.
Troy battling out there for a top 8 position. You came in tonight 4 points behind that, but a great race win there.
Yeah, the first one wasn't even close, but that one there, I give it the nod over the line because I think we're pretty much on the money now, so no excuses.
A lot of guys found track conditions tricky yesterday in the practice. How are they out there tonight?
Yeah, I found them tricky. I was the only one to crash yesterday, so it's a lot better tonight. Pretty slick out there, but I think it's gonna come into its own and provide some good racing.
Niels Christian Everson, Darcy Ward obviously won't be picking up any more points, so the battle's on, but there's 5 other guys out there, all with a chance of making the top 8. It's going to be a tough last 3 rounds.
Definitely, I'll be going for it, but right now I just want to think about what I'm doing and think about that last race and continue on from there.
Thanks, Troy.
Thanks.
Good words.
Yeah, sensible attitude, because you cannot influence what somebody else does. You just focus on your own deal, and if you do worry about everybody else, you tend to drain yourself of nervous energy and actually miss out. So, yeah, that's a very mature attitude from Troy Batchelor. Nicky Pedersen, of course, charging his team up as normal, and never satisfied, but that's why he's a former world champion, of course. John Jorgensen back in his team, and that seems to have brought something to the camp, that's for sure.
With plenty of adrenaline pumping through that Nicky Pedersen camp, you can be sure of that. It's been a decent meeting so far. The occasional good race, Kelvin. The subplot of Greg Hancock not being here, Ty Woofenden's problems. It's all bunching up. Nicky Pedersen, Christoph Kasperzak, Matti Zegar. You would expect all those riders, Hancock, Woofenden, Pedersen, Kasperzak and Zegar, you would expect all 5 riders to be in contention, serious contention for the World Championship with 2 rounds to go. Now Andreas Jonsson at his best in the last ride. Good to see. He's with Chris.
Andreas, it's been a tough series. You've only had the 1 double-figure score in round 2, but that was much more like it.
Oh, the second one tonight.
A race win has got to bring the confidence, though. I mean, it's a good racetrack. It's a track that you know quite well, and it's got to be good for you out there.
Yeah, it is definitely, but I'm feeling pretty confident for tonight, and pretty happy with the equipment. It's been a long, tough season, and trying to find right equipment, and got an engine now what I feel really comfortable on. So it's just up to me now, I hope.
11 points off the top 8. You're at the bottom of that pile, but there's a lot of guys vying for a top 8 position, at least 6 of you.
Yeah, I know. It feels on 14th place feels pretty far away, but only 11 points up and 3 to go. So, everything is possible, and just going to try to do my best, stay at the top 8.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Yeah, good attitude again, and as I say, 14th does sound like you're dead and buried, but you're not this year, not with the circumstances with riders being suspended and being injured. There is a marvellous opportunity for riders that maybe a few weeks ago were beginning to throw the towel in, thinking, I've got no chance. But now right down to 14th and AJ, you've got to say that they have a chance for 3 rounds, or two and a bit rounds now, to make the top 8. And AJ, I don't know if he'd get a pick this time. They got a pick last year, but this time around I think he's going to have to earn his spot, Nigel. Yeah, if he gets on a roll, we know what he can achieve. He can win Grand Prix.
So, difficult sight here. Crowd, great to see.
i sit sidste heat mellem Pedersen og Hansen
now, doesn't it? And, I have to say that they put some fresh material on yesterday, and it seems to have worked the treat. It's actually granite that they put in. It's now mixed with the regular shale, and we've got a nice top dressing there, and it's fairly smooth. I think it's a racetrack that you can be quite brave on. Certainly Peter Gilderman is anyway. So. We've got racing about to resume, and that's good. Yeah, I think we could be a really good Grand Prix.
Looking forward to the rest of the meeting. That's how it stands right now. Thomas has not been able to pick up any points. Nicky Pedersen and Christoph Kaspersen are a point behind him. Matti Zagar a further point behind.
Well, at the moment it's working out for Hancock. Hancock's league hasn't been reduced. And so, incredibly, this stage is actually sitting pretty well. His league's still intact. So, of course, it's going to diminish as the evening goes on, but he'll get out of jail if the circumstances fall right.
Here we go then, heat number 9. Every rider has now completed 2 rides on the programme. 20 heats, of course. Top 8 go through to the semi-finals tonight. Here at the Vojens Speedway Centre. Terrific crowd, perfect weather as well. Heat number 9 is coming up. Heat number 9, Kenneth Pierre goes off the inside in red then from the home nation Denmark. Michael Jensen goes off gate number 2 in blue. Also from the host nation here, Martin Smolinski, gate 3 in white. Matti Zagar going off the outside in yellow. One of the riders very much in contention for the World Championship now. Heat number 9 it is. England watching on. Race and Zagar will fancy this from gate number 4. A big sweep around the outside gate.
Yeah, he's in good form, and you're right. You know, sweep around the outside, or if you don't get there, you can possibly chop back to the inside. And be
Pierre's made a rocket start from the inside. That was magnificent from Pierre, trademark of him. Second place, Jensen. Third, Smolinski and Matti Zagar trailing at the back. Smolinski's got speed here, looking powerful. Kenneth Pierre has the lead. Jensen is holding second. Under pressure from Martin Smolinski, who goes wide and almost through the fence. Now Zagar's got home, and he can challenge Smolinski for third.
Yeah, Zagar's out the back, making sure he can get away. But Kenneth Pierre, well, really finding his form, and he looks good there out in front. Jensen better this time, under pressure early doors from Smolinski, but yeah, responding well, failing to score last time. Zagar has been mentally disappointed to be out the back, but Kenneth Pierre fighting for his Grand Prix future as well, looking really good.
Yeah, Kenneth Pierre down that back straight there, plenty of experience in the top level of international speedway, kicking on and riding beautifully. That's a great ride from Kenneth Pierre. Michael Jensen second, and once again this crowd erupts. It's a Danish 1-2. That's what they want. And Pierre and Jensen with first and second there, and Matti Zagar will be bitterly disappointed that he wasn't able to get on the score sheet there in heat number 9. He's had a good meeting so far, Matti Zagar, but didn't get a point in heat number 9. It's confirmation of the result. Kenneth Pierre, the race winner, with Michael Jensen second, Martin Smolinski third, and Matti Zagar trailed in at the back. This is what it means overall now. Kenneth Pierre on 7 points and leads the Grand Prix, but the maximum now is Peter Killerman, 6 out of 6.
Yeah, Peter Gilderman is a star performer so far, but I've got to say Kenneth Pierre is really upped his game of late, and he didn't practice in the last 2 Grand Prix, and tell you what, he's firing on all cylinders here. He comes roaring out of the inside gate, and that's where he stays. He hits the front and he rides nicely. Just for a moment here, I thought Smolinski might be able to get round the outside of Jensen as they come out of turn 4 as the first lap comes to its end, but Jensen's clever here. He just runs a fraction wider on the entrance, and then Smolinski's right out by the air fence, and that gives a bit of breathing space for Jensen to stamp his authority all over second place. But Kenneth Pierre, 7 points from 3 rides. That's a terrific return, and there's the reaction. Rightly pleased with his performance so far this evening in front of a huge home crowd. Great stuff.
Yeah, it is good to see, isn't it, the attendance here tonight. As you said earlier, depending on the amount of walk-ups, we know the situation with advanced ticket sales, but depending on the amount of walk-ups here tonight, could well be the biggest Grand Prix crowd they've ever had here in Vojens, which is great to see.
Super. World champions out here, and Ty has failed to score so far, and I wasn't sure if he was actually going to come out for this race, but he's here. He's up against Peter Kilderman, who is a tough man to beat so far this evening. Unbeatable so far. And Ty do something from the outside. It's going to be a total.
Here we go, Mikkelbeck goes off the inside in red, game number 2 in blue is Jarek Campbell. Peter Killerman, and going off the outside is Ty Woffenden, 2 riders. Would you believe it? The first and second from last year
Exactly.
get to score a point.
Just get the words out of my mouth. Number 1 and 2 in the world from last season, failed to score so far. I don't know what's going on with Jarek Campbell. That's a very difficult one to explain. No apparent injuries, just lack of illness. Ty Woffenden, now can he make a start? Just goes in front and that first corner will pick up some points.
Here we go. Number 2 in the blue, tried to jump the start there. Ty Woffenden has been left training now. The lead here early on is Killerman once again, and now here comes Woffenden around into second place. This will boost him, no doubt. Third here in blue is Jarek Campbell. This is Peter Killerman kicking on again, but Woffenden is having a go. And Ty Woffenden tries the inside line on Peter Killerman. Oh, it's going wide. Good speedway here.
Fabulous. Ty Woffenden's got oodles of speed in second place. Kilderman's on a massive threat for the world champion. Round the outside, Kilderman once again slamming the door shut. Initially, Woffenden made a jump at the start and looked like he'd penalised himself, but he's settled now, Nigel. You can see a little bit of confidence coming into his riding. The bike is fast, just unfair. There we go. He's having a good look at Kilderman.
Killerman, no, outside, inside, he doesn't mind. He'll just go where he wants. Peter Killerman, he's dictating the line of the race, as is quite right when you have the lead. This is a super right from Peter Killerman to make it 9 points out of 9 as a wild card. Woffenden closing in, having a real go towards the end of the race, and you can only think that that ride will be a huge confidence boost for Ty Woffenden, who is in absolute agony down the back straight in the yellow helmet colour. He is visibly in pain down that back straight.
You just have to question whether this is a bit too much beyond the call of duty here. But what speed he has in the motorbike, it's absolutely like a rocket. Peter Kilderman unbeaten, and Woffenden with this serious injury had speed, and he was all over him. A confident Woffenden, I feel sure he would have got to the front in that race.
What a story. Killerman, the wild card, is in the semi-final already. 9 points out of 9 is a maximum man. Woffenden might only be 2 points from 3 rides, but it's 2 points closer to the lead. Greg Hancock. It's now a 12-point gap there between Woffenden and Hancock. I'm sure he's going to race through and do his very best in the next 2 rides, even if it means him missing the semi-final.
He misses the start, Nige, and he does then remarkably well to recover here. Hampel and Beck on the inside, he swoops around the outside of them, and then he charges down the back straight. He's feeling that hand, look at that, he has not got the clutch control that he really needs, and it's unsettling him on the start line. A poor start, but look at the speed throughout the 4 laps. He was able to go inside and outside. A fully fit Woffenden would have won this race. Kilderman out in front though, as you rightly say. It's a great story developing here for him. Wins in style, just hanging on from a charging world champion with only really one hand. Kilderman's loving it.
Are you sure you think that Woffenden fully fit would have beaten Peter Killerman, or are you doing Killerman a disservice?
No, he was faster. He was all over him. He was looking at him. He had time behind him, Nige, and his bike was faster than Kilderman's. And I'm sure if he was fit, he would have passed him.
Okay, well, he's quite clearly going through it. Ty Woffenden. It is the story of the last 2 years for Woffenden, racing through pain. It really is the case at the moment. Last man standing when it comes to the title race. Both Pedersen, Kasperzak and Zegar, all very much in the mix. Johnson off the inside in red. Kasperzak, one of the world title contenders now, goes off gate 2 in blue. Remember, he missed a round in Finland in May with knee injuries. Nikolai Busk-Jakobsen going off gate number 3. And Troy Batchelor is going off the outside in yellow.
Yeah, another competitive race. Race winners all over the place here. Johnson looking good last time. Kasperzak likewise. And Troy Batchelor bouncing back after failing to score in his only ride with the race win. So yeah, competitive speedway.
There we go. Kasperzak's made a good one off gate number 2. That's a superstar from Christoph Kasperzak. Batchelor around the outside now. Troy Batchelor in yellow. Where on earth did he find that from? That's something special. Kasperzak for second. He's now challenging Troy Batchelor in the lead. Down to turns 3 and 4. He's going to try the outside. Now the inside switch from Jonsson. Down for the line. Batchelor standing up. Troy Batchelor from Andreas Jonsson. And Christoph Kasperzak was in third place. And that was a very, very entertaining race of Speedway. And Troy Batchelor looking superb.
What a first corner from the Australian. He'll be chuffed to bits with that. Fighting for his Grand Prix future, taking one race at a time, focusing on his business. And I tell you what, his business is top draw right now. Super ride from Batchelor out in front.
Batchelor, Jonsson, Kasperzak and Busk Jakobsen was the finishing order there. It's a tough night for the young reserve who's been promoted to replace Greg tonight. Yet to score a point, but Troy Batchelor level with KK and AJ on 6 points apiece. It was a great ride from TB.
Great stuff. Troy Batchelor, and it was great stuff from him. The first corner from TB was terrific. AJ had no answers at all. And KK also, who makes a good start initially out of gate 2. He's there, but look, Batchelor around the outside. Swedish alike, charges down the back straight and gets to the front, and he stays there. Jonsson's a good entertainer here. Won his previous race, says that he's got an engine he really has fallen in love with. Now it's all about him to produce the goods on the track. And all credit to him, he comes up with a very strong performance here. He gets the better of the flying pole here, Kasperzak, to get himself into second place initially. Very nearly gets to the front, but Batchelor back-to-back race wins. Well, that's just what he needs, and both those two men fighting for their lives.
Great performance from Andreas Jonsson. Troy Batchelor has been in a fine run of form in the UK. We've seen quite a bit of him with the Swindon Robins, who have made it into the end-of-season playoffs in the UK as well. The Swindon Robins, along with the Coventry Bees, who we see Chris Harris here on gate 3 in white, right to Coventry. And they've got Kings Lynn and Poole in the UK as well in the playoff mix. So exciting times in Poland, Sweden and the UK for the playoffs. It's all coming up here. We have 3 rounds, including this one, on the World Championship to decide the 2014 World Champion who's going to win it. Now look at this roll lineup. Freddie Lindgren off the inside in red from Sweden. Chris Holder, 2012 World Champion, gate 2 in blue. Chris Harris, gate 3 in white, who, by the way, has been promoted into the GP Challenge and could be a GP rider again next year.
Great opportunity.
With that meeting in Lonigo. And off the outside, Nicky Pedersen, yellow helmet colour, and chasing a 4th world title. He's off gate 4.
Yeah, and he had quite a roller coaster of a ride last time when he sort of charged up the back straight fence and just about stayed on the motorbike and nearly killed him, so he put him to the sword. On the inside, very competitive race. Holden was a little disappointing last time. Point survival.
Yeah, here we go with the number 12. Pedersen on gate 4 is on 4 points so far. That's a good start from Lindgren. Here's Holder as well, but Nicky Pedersen's going to try the outside line. There's no room there. He's had to lock up, and Harris has come through. And now Nicky Pedersen is going to have to do it the hard way. Harris has got 3rd place. Now the lead here superbly is with Freddie Lindgren in red. 2nd place is Chris Holder, and Chris Harris is 3rd with Nicky Pedersen somewhat surprisingly at the back now.
Yeah, Nicky Pedersen just found himself in the wrong place at the wrong time there and got caught up into traffic. He's now charged into 3rd place. What a move from Holder! Holder comes up the inside of Freddie Lindgren, who looked like he had this race under control.
Oh! Pedersen's gone! Pedersen's gone. He will protest that Harris has taken him down. I need to see that again, but I don't see any contact from the naked eye.
Just focusing on the move from Holder to the front, but you saw it, Nige. We're going to have to see the replays because I wasn't focusing on that. I know it was a very hard move from Pedersen to get into 3rd place, and then a super move from Holder. Here we see it. Harris up the inside of Nicky Pedersen, forcing him ever so wide. Oh, contentious. I think Pedersen may find himself out of luck here.
This is Harris showing all his steely determination. This is what Harris is all about. Now, Nicky was hard in the previous lap, as you said, Kelvin.
Yes, he was in the previous corner. In actual fact, I think Pedersen will be lucky to be put back in the rerun.
Well, the man in yellow, Nicky Pedersen, is disqualified.
Yeah, he's going to be furious now. There could be some fireworks in the pits right now. Things are not quite going his way. 3rd last time out with a tough race with Peter Kilderman. Don't know if he's even aware yet.
As he glance across and see his helmet colour is light is on. And of course, good thing is that he's walked away from that. But for me, that was just a hard speedway race.
It was a hard speedway race. The move by both men at different times was, you know, pretty ruthless. Any contact there, just keep your eyes on that. Minimal, he just runs out of room and it's just disappointed, but Harris doesn't clip him.
Harris is ahead. Harris is ahead.
Yeah, I'm not arguing with you, mate. I'm agreeing with you. I think Pedersen, I wonder if he's aware. He's very calm at this stage, and it's unusual for him to be so calm.
Yeah.
But he's walking back to the paddock. At the moment, his emotions are under control.
Yeah, 4 points now for Nicky, which means that overall in the World Championship he's on 97. Is that the moment where he's just found out that he's
Well, maybe
race?
now he's just found out, Nige, because for him, I've got the feeling he thought that he was going to be in the rerun, but if he knows, he's taking it very well.
Yeah, well, it was hard from Nicky on Chris, and then I would say it was pretty similar in the next lap, which resulted in that. And for me, that was just two speedway riders, Chris Harris and Nicky Pedersen, really going for it. It was good to watch. Not to mention what was going on up front, Kel.
He's not happy, you can see it. He's remarkably calm, but fair play to him. It's not easy, and he is still struggling with the shoulder, but not what he wanted. 4 points so far from 3 rides and an exclusion, including in that. So Harris there was very determined, and Harris has been in fantastic form for the Coventry Bees of late, hardly dropping a point. Rode 2 meetings yesterday for the Bees and rode brilliantly. Kenneth Pierre just having a chat with his mother there in actual fact. That's Pierre, who's here in reserve, ready for the ride. But yeah, it's an exciting night for all sorts of reasons. All the permutations about the championship chase, the chase for the top 8. So much on the line with 3 rounds to go. It's ever so exciting, and it's going to get even more so. It's got to Constantina up. But the big winner so far this evening, Nigel, is the man who's not here. Greg Hancock, his lead, still at 12 points. Very healthy.
Really does need Woffenden to win 2 heats now to go on to 8 if he is to qualify for the semi-finals and extend his interest in this.
The start there was very uncomfortable, but no, I fancied that Rookie really could do with 8 points tonight to give himself that really close in on Greg's sort of 14-point lead. So yeah, so far it's proved to be very difficult.
We will say there's 2 weeks before Stockholm Friends Arena, so you know there's another 2 weeks for the boys to try and get themselves in as best shape as they can.
And they will do, of course they will. Speedway riders, very tough to overcome. Need to have that dexterity in your left hand. You got to work the clutch and the vibration is so rapid through the handle. Very unforgiving a speedway ride. I tell you what, surely Ty Woodford really has to go through the paint barrier.
Freddie Liquid off the inside here in red, gate 2 in blue is Chris Holder. Chris Harris goes off gate 3 in white. No rider off the outside. Nicky Pedersen disqualified by our referee here this evening, Marek Vojens. So here we go. Phil Morris in the Chris Harris pink corner. Phil was Chris's team manager at Birmingham last year in the UK when the Brummies finished top of the table. Chris now back in Coventry, of course, and as Kel mentioned a few minutes ago, riding up the points last night for them in an Elite League double header against the Sport Eagles. So here we go. League number 12 it is. Holder had the lead in the original staging of the race, and now Holder has missed it, and Chris Harris has got the lead. What a ride from Chris Harris. He's got the lead. Down the back straight he goes. If he can show form like this in the GP Challenge, he'll be back in the Grand Prix Series next year. Second place is Liquid. Here comes Holder now, challenging Freddie Liquid for that second place here. But Chris Harris, Kelvin, made an absolutely beauty of a start.
He did indeed. He ripped the bike right up, and the bike drove to the first corner just as he would have wished, and he's out there and he's looking good. Freddie Liquid this time is more comfortable in second place. The big loser, of course, in the rerun is Holder. Holder had made a great move and hit the front, and all the action and all the fireworks went on behind him. The exclusion for Nicky Pedersen and hence the rerun. But Liquid's coming in, and Harris here, Nigel. A lap to go. Can the Swede find a way through?
Well,
Harris now just gets a little bit of ground gain there as he pulls clear into turns 3 and 4. This is a great ride from Chris Harris of Great Britain. Big victory for Harris. Lindgren was second and third place there. As you said, the big loser really after the original staging of the race was Chris Holder.
Absolutely, Holder's going to be really frustrated with that. It so often happens when you get a rerun. The one that loses out is the fellow that's hit the front. The red lights come on and you can't quite reproduce it. But Chris Harris has had a tough time and he's won a race. He's full of confidence. Next weekend, a date with destiny for him.
Harris, Lindgren, Holder, the finishing order. Now, the GP is led by the wild card, Peter Killerman, 9 out of 9.
Well, fair play to Harris. Restaging of the race, he made a good start from gate 3. He puts plenty of motor on, he holds the bike absolutely flat out on the start line, dumps the clutch, and this time it works out for him. He gets to the first corner and he's able to stamp his authority there. Good ride from Lindgren. Lindgren actually comes on strong here later in the race and was able to put pressure on Harris out in front. And you've got to feel a little bit for Chris Holder because Holder there right out on the outside, getting a little bit out of shape. He was looking good for a win in the initial stagings of this race, but couldn't manage to get to the front second time out. But Harris, as you rightly say, is in the GP challenge in Italy in Lonigo. Of course, Lonigo has staged many a big event, of course, in the past GPs. If he can just get his act together, then the top 3 is a very competitive meet, and there's some very talented riders on show there next weekend. But it is a chance because his opportunity to make the top 8 looks like it's gone.
Very much so. So we're at the interval stage now. We will speak to a few of the guys down in the pits area. But it's fast and furious, and there's been some real tough action out there as well, Kelvin.
Yeah, they have. I've enjoyed it. There's been some highlights, some dramatic stuff. The tape exclusion, still can't agree with it. I'm going on about it, but the tape exclusion in Heat 1 is bizarre and not quite ideal. But no, Peter Kilderman has fully justified his wildcard pick. When you consider the depth of talent in this part of the world right now, Peter Kilderman is doing a sterling work. Yeah, of course, he's turning his fortunes around this year and it's looking good. Actually, look at these riders all of a sudden with the pressure on of Grand Prix future. Johnson, Batchelor and Vierre are really doing themselves no harm at all. Smolinski and Lindgren also at this stage of the top 8. That just shows you how hard and how much they realise there's an opportunity for them.
Look how close it is, 15 points separating the top 4. 112 to 100 for the top 2. Zagar's on 96. Everson won't ride again this season, wishing well. Darcy Ward 75, currently suspended. And Freddie Lindgren in that 8th position now. Real opportunity for Lindgren to secure his spot in the GP once again next year, when earlier in the season it looked a lost cause.
Absolutely, and I've got to say that you know, it is an opportunity for these guys with suspensions and injuries to riders, and they're falling out of the top 8. Freddie Lindgren looks like he's battling very hard to make sure he can get in there.
Now, Ty Woffenden, let's hear how he is right now. He's with Chris.
Ty, we appreciate you taking time out to talk to us. It was a tough start to the night, but first of all, just give us an update on the pain.
Yeah, it's hurting a lot, but just doing what I can, just going out there and trying to score what I can, you know. It's, I'm in a lot of pain, but just pushing through it and yeah, doing my bit.
You're here riding through the pain barrier. How frustrating was it to start with that exclusion, which, to be fair to everybody looking at the replays, maybe didn't look quite right?
Yeah, you know, but I jumped, you know, I made a mistake. Even if we both touched him at the same time, I still touched him at the end of the day. You know, 3 weeks off a bike and not being at the start line, you know, it seems like I just started riding again. Then my front wheel got caught going into the corner on the next one, and that killed my hands. And yeah, is what it is, mate. Just trying to do what I can.
2 points in your last race, and I've got to say you had a lot of speed. You're pushing Peter Kilderman all the way. You've got to take some confidence from that.
Yeah, it's just annoying because I'm thinking more about how much my hands are hurting than where to ride and how to pass them. You know, it's hard to try. You know, pain's a strong thing. You know, it's hard to just try and push it out of the way and focus on what you're going to do. But like I said, I'm doing my best. My hands started to swell up again, which isn't ideal. But World Championship Speedway, I guess.
And every point you score is eating into that Greg Hancock lead.
Yeah, it is. Like I said before, you know, it sucks to see Greg injured, and best wishes, mate. Hope to see you back at the next one, and you know, I'll be there, and we'll all be fighting for World Championship, which is what it's about.
Thanks, Ty.
Thanks.
And that's why he's here, isn't it? That's why he's here. He's pushing himself to the absolute limits of his abilities and his pain threshold to try and eke him into that lead that Greg Hancock has. But still, so far, 12 points is quite substantial.
Kenneth Bjerre, hvordan vil du vurdere banen derude?
Well, our colleague from
Han er faktisk rimelig god, synes jeg. Måske lidt til en glat side, men der begynder at komme lidt belægning op i banen nu, så... Men ja, jeg synes faktisk rigtig god.
Vi kan sådan se de første 12 heats, der har været meget turbulent sådan ved udgangen af sving 2. Er det fordi, I simpelthen ligger så tæt igennem svingen?
Ja, jeg vil ikke kommentere på, at der er nogle secret linjer herude, men nej, altså, det er fedt jo, ikke?
Du har lavet 7 point forløbet, det går rigtig godt. Det er ligesom om, du er ved at finde det gode, gamle Kenneth Bjerre igen. Er det også det, du selv mærker?
Ja, jeg føler det rundt i ligaløbene også, og så prøver jeg at tage det med, der virker til ligaløbene ind til Grand Prix her. Jeg har haft en meget blandet sæson og en brækket kravben, og kommer aldrig rigtig tilbage hurtigt nok, så det koster et par Grand Prix, og jeg føler lidt nu, at nu nyder jeg kører igen, og tingene det fungerer for mig, så det er bare at blive ved så længe, at jeg kan holde det.
Og så har du en ekstra chance for Grand Prix-kvalifikation i Lonigo om en uge i Italien. Giver det sådan lidt ro på, trods alt?
Faktisk ikke. Jeg synes, hvorfor ikke? Jeg synes, man har så travlt, og der er jo Grand Prix hver anden weekend, og så nu kommer der et vigtigt løb ind i mellem Grand Prix også, og man får ikke rigtig slappet af og ladet op, jo, men altså, løbet er der, og jeg sætter dem op til den jo selvfølgelig, og kører efter top 3. Det kan måske gøre det lidt lettere den vej, som der er 3 Grand Prix tilbage, og jeg skal bare point på kontoen for top 8.
Og så skal du bare langt i aften.
Så langt som muligt. Alle point tæller.
Chris Harris at the GP Challenge as a result of the suspension to Patrick Dudek. So Harris promoted into the GP Challenge. From a British point of view, we'll wish him well, of course. But what a fantastic crowd here. Well, let's hear Kenneth Bjerre now talking in English with Chris Lewis.
Kenneth, you had to wait till heat 9 for your first race win, but 7 points is a great start to the meeting.
Yeah, it's been all right with 2 second places, but I just needed a bit off the starts and made a few changes into my third rider, and it worked better off the start, so hopefully that setup will work the rest of the night.
You needed that start too, gate 1. You've just had the track grade, plenty of water went down, so it's handy to be in front.
It was, you know, yeah, the track dried out a bit, and they needed a bit of water on, so, you know, I started off gate 3 and gate 4 pretty tough, but got an inside, won a race, and make the most of that, so 2 more important races for me, and, you know, still points off a grab.
10 points from the top 8. This crowd here in Vojens tonight can help you to make up some of those points.
I will do whatever it takes, you know. I've done it before, and I've been here before, done it, and you know, it's a long season, and my season been up and down all the time, and hopefully I can just keep this consistent rest of the year now.
Thank you, Kenneth.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, fair play to him. It's really difficult, and you know, it's not easy to find the consistency, particularly at this level when you look at, you know, quality former world champions, you know, struggling to get to double figures, and that's why it's been such a remarkable campaign from Greg Hancock, of course. Even though he got injured last time, he still was unbeaten on 9 points, you know. Could easily be one of his worst returns, you know. But no, Kenneth Bjerre is clearly got confidence. You can see it in him, you know, chatting to Chris in the paddock. That's a confident man, and looking now really intent to try and get into the Grand Prix for 2015.
KK with a thumbs up. He's quite happy, 6 points so far, and a real opportunity to become world champion this year. To remind you, our next round is in the Friends Arena Stockholm in a fortnight's time, and then it all wraps up in Torun, Marian Rose Arena, in Torun, Poland.
Yes, and you know, some people would say that 3 Grand Prix is an unfair advantage to Polish riders because they've got 3 home meetings effectively. Kasper Zak rode well in Vojens 2 weeks ago, and we'll be looking forward to Torun. Zagard there, just playing with his ignition timing. Just rotating the generator around a wee bit there to retard the ignition just a fraction. And what that does, it just calms the motor down, trying to get a little bit more grip, particularly away from the tape. Track conditions at this level starting is vital, so just a slight tweak to his engine setup.
Okay, so prepare for the resumption of this Grand Prix here, Nordic Speedway Grand Prix in Vojens, Denmark, with Heat 13 coming up, and Nicky Pedersen will be a man on a mission after his disqualification in his previous ride. He'll be well and truly up for this, Nicky Pedersen, with Troy Batchelor, who's been in the thick of the action tonight as well. So we're about to get underway. Here we go again. Nicky Pedersen will be well worth watching here from Gable.
Yeah, I'm sure there could be some fireworks here because he knows it's so vital to him, and the opportunity to coming into this meeting with Hancock out. Looks like he's changed his bike here. It looks like a new bike coming in between, isn't it? Right there in front of him, and so they've taken the opportunity to try something else. Conditions have just switched off. Done a practice start, readjusting the rear chain. Pedersen off the inside. Then he bends back.
Sure we can. So down here, Vojens. It's a fantastic atmosphere. This purpose-built speedway venue built in the 70s. Olsen, the brainchild of this track, along with a bit of help incidentally from Peter Adams, who's in Ty Woodman's pit corner tonight. Peter Adams helped have an input into the design of this track.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's news to me. So Pete Adams is quite a character, isn't he? He's got speedway really inside out.
Yes, he does. Here we go. Heat number 13. Here we go then, Nicky Pedersen looking to bounce back. He goes off the inside in red here. Going off gate number 2 in blue is Mikkel Beck. Also from Denmark. Troy Batchelor goes from gate 3 in white. And Martin Smolinski is off the outside in yellow. Good lineup this one. No doubt that man is going to be on a real mission looking to hit back here from the inside.
Yeah, he'll be frustrated with the exclusion last time, but he took it pretty well. Fair play to him. No amateur dramatics going on in the paddock that time, but he's on the inside, needs a big start. Batchelor back-to-back wins, he's in fine form. Smolinski also is riding well this evening, and Mikkel Beck picked up some points, but Pedersen, he knows this is a great opportunity for a championship.
Hi there folks, welcome back. Yes, apologies for the lack of the last couple of heats there, really. We lost power in the stadium. Just to update you, by the way, Heat 13 was won by Nicky Pedersen. Troy Batchelor was second, Mikkel Beck was third, and Martin Smolinski at the back. Heat 14 was a win, remarkably, for Ty Woffenden. Second place was Freddie Lindgren, Andreas Johnson was third, and Matti Zagar at the back. So we're up to Heat 15. The result of Heat 14 was a win for the rider in red, Ty Woffenden, second blue, Freddie Lindgren, third white, Andreas Johnson, and in yellow at the back, Matti Zagar. Heat 13's result for the record was a win in red for Nicky Pedersen, second in white, Troy Batchelor, third in blue, Mikkel Beck, and fourth in yellow, Martin Smolinski. That was Heat 13. So, again, we apologise, but Kelvin, what can we say about Ty Woffenden's guts and courage in winning Heat 14?
People didn't see it, because what a ride from Ty Woffenden. Came under pressure early in the race, but he had a lot of speed, the bike running brilliantly. What character that man showed there out in front. He won the race in fine style. Freddie Lindgren actually was quite a star in that race as well, making a very dynamic move in the first and second corner where he charged into second place. Disappointment for Zagar in Heat 14. That's his second consecutive last place, which after 5 points from his first two, he was looking all set for a semi-final place. Now he's on the back foot. But Ty Woffenden, the world champion, after two very disappointing rides, 5 points from the last two. He is actually strong ride. His last ride now. He was out of gate 2 in Heat 18. It's a tough race. He's got Pedersen and Kasperzak and Jensen to deal with, but 5 points. When you look at and reflect on the start he had tonight, that is a terrific effort.
Certainly is, absolutely. So we're up to Heat 15 coming up shortly. You've joined us back here in the Vojens Speedway Centre. Crowd with a certainly a fantastic atmosphere. It's a carnival-type atmosphere. It's good to see.
They're possibly a little bit confused why we had the delay, because the lights are on in the stadium they can't hear, but our power engines obviously no opportunity for television. But riders are now emerging. And Chris Harris, who rode brilliantly in his last ride, that was a super ride from Chris, who had gate 3 then, and he's got it again now. So he has fond memories of that. Garrett Campbell out here as well, who's completely out of form. Michael Jensen, he's got a bit of work to do, Nige. He needs a good result here. He's got, on my scorecard, he's got 4 points from 3 rides. Got the inside gate, could do with a big ride now.
Absolutely, Heat 15 is coming up here then. We have Jensen, Busk Jakobsen, Chris Harris and Jari Campbell. Mystery, it is Jari Campbell. Here we go, Heat 15. You line up Michael Jensen off the inside. It's Nikolai Busk Jakobsen off 2. Chris Harris, gate 3. Jari Campbell off the outside. Just to clarify, by the way, if you have just rejoined us here in the Vojens Speedway Centre, the last 2 heats that you missed due to a plough failure in the stadium. Heat 13 was a win for Nicky Pedersen, Troy Batchelor second, and Mikkel Beck was third, and Martin Smolinski at the back. Heat 14 was a win for Ty Woffenden, and Freddie Lindgren second, Andreas Johnson third, Matti Zagar at the back. It means that Ty Woffenden is now on 5 points tonight. That moves him on to 103. He is just 9 points behind Greg Hancock now.
What an effort. Yeah. What an effort. It was a terrific ride. When you consider how much discomfort he's in, that was a sterling performance. And I've got to say, Chris Harris rode very well in his last ride to pick up a heat win. Can he back it up now? He does tend to do this, and then he has a good ride and then can't quite reproduce it the next time. But he won from gate 3 previously. Garrett Campbell, well, we got 1 point certainly. And we see a better Garrett Campbell here.
Here we go, into number 15 it is. It's a great start with Jensen off the inside. Want to get away. Here comes Hampel around the outside in yellow. But Jensen holds the line. It's Hampel holding second now. Third place is Busk Jakobsen, who's got the better of Chris Harris here. The Danish youngster will be delighted with that. But Harris won't stand for it. Charges up the inside here now, challenging for third place.
Yeah, he has, and he's just about got that third place. Hampel looks a lot better here. Oh! Just as I say that, how on earth did he stay on? Very nearly lost the boat quick as he went into turn 3. Jepsen Jensen, after an up and down night, looks much more accomplished this time. He's enjoying himself out in front. Good to see Speedway. Jepsen Jensen looks terrific out there. Hamill's going to pick up 2 points, and Harris hardly won the race. A little disappointing in third.
Yep, Jepsen Jensen, winner of the last Grand Prix here in Vojens 2 years ago. This is going to put him on to 7 points, and that would give him a great chance in his last ride to qualify for the semi-finals. Big win! The Danish crowd are delighted with that. It's Michael Jepsen Jensen from Jarek Campbell second, Chris Harris was third, and Nikolai Musk-Jakobsen was at the back there. But Michael Jepsen Jensen had a great night in Gorshov a fortnight ago. Every chance that we're going to see him now in the remaining 2 GPs of the year as well, without Darcy Ward and of course Niels Christian Iversen. We should emphasise Ward is suspended at this stage, not banned, suspended at this stage, pending a final verdict on that. So here we go, heat 15, Jepsen Jensen on 7, a clutch of riders on 7 points now. It's a great ride from him. Jarek Campbell on to 3 points.
Yeah, good stuff from Michael Jepsen Jensen, and showing his class here. He has fond memories of Vojens, won the Grand Prix here 2 years ago, and that was a classy ride. He's had 2 second places and a last, and this time off the inside he really does get himself to the first corner nicely. Jarek Campbell, I thought for a moment, might be able to get himself up the inside, but Jepsen Jensen was able to cover the move down the back straight. Second time, here we see it. This time Harris doesn't make a start, and he has to work hard to get the better of young Bush Jakobsen there to get into 3rd place. But Jepsen Jensen, that's more like it, and I've got to say that you can see that he is clearly delighted with that.
And he's oozing confidence as well, Jepsen Jensen. Everything's going well for him. Riding absolutely beautifully. So
he's very consistent. He's made semi-finals on a regular basis. Made a final as well. So I'd say he looks very comfortable at this level.
As you mentioned earlier, Kelvin, it's going to be fascinating to see the result of the Grand Prix Challenge next week.
Yeah.
Here's confirmation then of the leaderboard. Greg Hancock 112, Ty Woodman at 103, Mickey Bennison 100, and this man, KK, on 98. Now, of those 4, you know that Hancock won't ride. Ty Woodman needs a win, or he will take no further part in tonight's meeting. The other 2 guys, KK and Mickey Bennison, have got every chance of being in the semi-finals. So Kasperzak off the inside, Kenneth Pierre on 2, Chris Holder going off gate 3, and the maximum man, Peter Killerman, going off the outside.
Yeah, Kilderman's been a star tonight. This is a tough race with Holder in it, who'll be keen to get amongst the points. Pierre's been fast, really fast tonight, so he's a fantastic coming out of Kasperzak, hunched over the handlebars, really keen to get amongst the points again.
Here we go. 16, the team stayed down for quite some time there, and Pierre's got the drop on Kasperzak. Now Holder around the outside. Oh, now Kasperzak's been relegated to the back, would you believe it? And now Holder round the outside, down the back straight, and now Pierre has that lead. Holder really challenging hard. Lindgren closes the door ruthlessly on Christoph Kasperzak, and there's 2 races in 1.
Wow, what a ride from Holder around the outside, and Kenneth Pierre really putting it to the sword. Kilderman certainly and Kasperzak having a terrific battle out the back, but Holder, the 2012 world champion, has had a tough night so far, but this is a great effort from him. Really now beginning to stretch his legs, get in a little bit of a comfort zone. Pierre in 2nd place. Kilderman coming into this race, he was on feet. He's going to drop points now. And Kasperzak, all of a sudden the opportunity, failing to score, that's a disappointment for him.
This is Chris Holder of old, pre-injury.
Absolutely.
He's ridden absolutely brilliantly, and he's going to take the checkered flag with Pierre 2nd and Killerman 3rd, and Christoph Kasperzak, quite staggeringly, trailing it at the back. You just do not know what is going to happen next in this Speedway Grand Prix. That was amazing Speedway, and Chris Holder, who admitted a couple of GPs ago that, you know, some of the boys are going wide and wide and wide, but he's not going to put that on the line.
He did that.
Well, he's put it on the line there.
He did it well and truly, and he's had a good week or so, Chris Holder. He's had a lot of points, and he rode brilliantly there.
Holder, the race winner, and this is what it means now. 4 rides each, Pierre 9. Holder sneaks into the top 8 on 7 points.
Holder back to his best there. He had to work overtime because Kenneth Pierre had a lot of speed up the inside of him, and Holder had to put it on the line there. probably didn't feel completely comfortable doing it, but all credit to him because he comes up with a super performance. Pierre out of gate 2 makes a great start. Hugs the inside, it's really tight with Kasperzak and Peter Kilderman banging handlebars through that first corner. It was awfully tight. Holder on the outside, Pierre on the inside, and it's a lap and a half battle here with these two. Pierre just hanging on to it as they start the second lap. But now Holder running into the dirt, gets that extra little bit of drive, even on the back wheel, just hanging on and gets himself to the front. Good stuff from the Aussie, look at that. Spectacular stuff, just about having enough room to get round the pocket rocket from Denmark that is Kenneth Pierre. Super ride from Holder, and disappointment for Kasperzak.
What I like there about Chris and Kenneth, and Holder just said, why didn't that happen earlier? But Chris Holder and Kenneth Pierre, there was massive respect between those two guys, Kelvin, because they were going wide, they were going inside, but they left each other enough room to give us a fantastic speedway race.
Yes, and you know, Pierre is a fair rider. He's suffered enough injuries in his career, and of course Holders have a really tough run of injuries, so yes, there was respect between the two, and we witnessed a really entertaining race. So yeah, all credit to both of them.
Yeah, hugely enjoyable. As well, there's been some fantastic racing tonight.
Yeah, it's been top stuff. You know, with the plot thickening with the World Championship race at both ends. Yeah. At both ends, isn't it? It is quite incredible. So yeah, it's Kilderman still leading the Grand Prix, but that man there, Ty Wolfenden, 5 points. I tell you what, after his first 2 rides, didn't look like he was going to be able to come out for his third ride.
Going home. Yeah, absolutely. Track. Track.
Top draw tonight. I have been here when it's been awful, and the weather, of course, has played its part. It's been we've been here a couple of days and it's been gorgeous. Often when we come here, it's pours with rain, and that makes racing very difficult. But I've got to say, yesterday it was a little patchy and a bit awkward, but this evening it's been super, and it's allowing riders to really go at it with confidence.
Yeah, very much so. Nicky Pedersen in the mix, and has been in the thick of the action. He gets 7 points from 4 rides, but 2 race wins, which will go in his favour.
Yeah, that's handy for him. And last time he came out on new equipment, and he was super.
Well, Chris Holder, what a super race. Back to his best. He's with Chris Law.
Chris, fantastic timing for your first race win of the night, giving yourself a chance for a semi-final spot.
Oh man, I'm so angry in the pits, but got a sore throat from screaming, and I'm so frustrated. Just can't seem to get the bike working. You know, off the start, my starts are disgraceful, and took a bit of a gamble then, and it sort of worked. It was better on the track, but yeah, just off the start, you know, you do me at the start out here.
Thanks for that, Chris. I guess when you say you took a gamble, it must have been with the bike set up, because you look like you'd swapped the bike for a rodeo bull on the first couple of laps there.
Sure did. We went pretty aggressive to get it going. You know, I've tried every jet that we've got in our toolbox just to get anything, and I thought I had it quite good in that race, but the race before, and then Nicky got excluded, and then the rerun, yeah, I didn't make a start, and if I didn't have fresh air, it was hopeless, and didn't have fresh air, so I looked ordinary, but that was better, and hopefully I don't go off too much, you know, tonight.
Big points tonight would be a big help. You've got at least 6 guys chasing you down for that top 8.
Yeah, the top 8 is as close as the top guys, so it's a battle all the way to get through there, and yeah, it's a long way to go, but I needed that race, and hopefully off forward the next one I can do it again.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's good to hear him. He's very honest, isn't he? And you can see he is, you know, he's having to push himself hard at this stage because his confidence has been knocked with the series of injuries he's sustained in the last 2 seasons. So, you know, all credit to Chris Holder. Bike set up a challenge for him this evening, but that was a strong ride, and it was a gutsy ride, wasn't it, to get the better of Pierre?
Very much so. Christoph Kasperzak is still smiling, still putting his thumb up, but that's a brave face. He's a bit disappointed with that last place, and KK on 6 points. He's out of the top 8.
He is outside the top 8. He's got a ride to come off the inside gate, so yeah, he needs to find something. You know, he want to get in there. As I say, with Hancock away, not here, it's an opportunity for him to get right into it. Track now just beginning to be prepared for the restart. Zelensky, Johnson's looked better tonight. He's had a good night. He's on 7 points. Good stuff in there. Peter Kilderman had a good night as well. He's on 10. He's into the semi-finals. Harris off the outside, but it's been entertaining stuff. I've got to say that, and with a great turnout, it's a great atmosphere, and it's a nice combination.
Michael Jepsen Jensen can speak with Chris Louis now.
Michael, a race win in Heat 15, giving yourself 7 points and a chance of a semi-final spot.
Yeah, it did. I need the points now. I need to be in the semi.
Heat 18 is your last race, gate 4, and it looks like a tough one.
Yeah, it is. All the heats is tough, you know. But I think, especially the first few heats, I was okay off gate 4 in my first heat there. So I just have to believe it, and I do.
Fond memories of Vojens, winner two years ago. Can you do it again?
Of course I can.
Great stuff, well done.
Thank you, mate.
Well, very confident, and he dug deep. He's got 5 points out of his last 2 rides, which is a sterling effort. Really fences a win here this evening, and who would have put it past him? He was very impressive last time, and he's a classy rider, and he's been very consistent in his opportunities this season. And he's going to have to work hard, because with so many Danish riders in and around this World Championship scene, Jebsen Jensen, who is not in the Grand Prix Challenge next weekend, he's going to have to prove to the organisers that he's worthy of a pick if he can't make the top 8.
Well, his record is brilliant in Grand Prix Speedway, you have to say that. It's been wonderful the way he's piled the points up on every opportunity that he's had in a Grand Prix. So we'll see how that pans out. But Heat 17 coming up. 10 points. He leads the GP. Just again, we see it where points are dropped to the left, right and centre. It's that competitive. It's fascinating as well. We've got 4 races now to decide the semi-finalists here in Vojens tonight. Peter Killerman as the wild card.
Made the final that night. He's really brilliant. He dropped a couple of points last time, but he'll want to finish off in style here. Andres Jonsson's just gone back to the pit gate, so a little concern with him. Just a bit of a chat with his team, but he's now making his way back to gate 2. And AJ is on 7 points. So he's had 1 race week tonight. A little bit up and down, but pretty consistent. So yeah, he'll be looking for a big ride here to secure his top 8 into the semi-finals.
So heat number 17. Last round of races before the semi-finals is coming up. Here we go, heat 17 then. Martin Smolinski goes off the inside in red, the German. Gate number 2 in blue is a man who's looked a lot better tonight, Andreas Jonsson in blue. Gate number 3 in white is Peter Killerman, the wild card, who leads the GP with 10 points. A magnificent effort from him. And Chris Harris, who's got a race win under his belt tonight. The British rider goes off the outside in yellow.
Yeah, and he's on 5 points. And the race win here for Chris will give him a chance at the semi-final. So all is not lost for Chris, and a big start from the outside and swoop round that first corner. Who knows what could happen, but Kilderman is a danger at gate 3. Andres Jonsson also will be very keen to get some more points there because he wants the semi-final this evening.
Here we go. Oh, Chris Harris is staying at the start line. There's a serious problem there for him. He's going to have to pull away onto the infield, but what about this for Peter Killerman? Killerman has the lead now. That'll be 13 points. There's a chain on the racetrack from gate number 4. The red lights are on.
Yeah, but the chain was just left on the track, and of course it's dangerous. It can get flicked up, and the rear chain has just been left lying on the track just in front of the starting gate. Start marshal is now just picking it up and removing it away from the track. And Harris, of course, will be bitterly disappointed. It was an opportunity for him, and when he did hit the front, he looked really good. So, yeah, desperate for Chris Harris.
Well, what a shame for Chris Harris then. And there is the offending article.
Rarely does the rear chain break. Actually, they're very strong indeed. So he's unfortunate there, and that you can ill afford that at this level. You know, he's had a race win. He's on 5 points with a ride to go. He hasn't had any good fortune at all, has he? And it breaks immediately. As soon as he engages the clutch, it's just snapped the rear chain.
Why would that be, Kelvin? Is that
There's a weakness there somewhere, Nige. You know, one of the side plates, maybe even one of the split links wasn't put back on. I'm surmising, but bottom line is the rear chain snapped, and that's going to be tough for him because you never know. He could have got there.
There's no disqualification lights on.
He's got to go.
He's got to go.
Of course, the stoppage.
Yeah, in yellow. So it's disappointing for Chris. And his night, although he had that 1 race win earlier on, and he had that battling with Mickey Pedersen as well.
Yeah, he was battling hard for his points. You can't deny the effort going into Chris, but there's no luck at all for him this season. Smolinski, of course, he's outside the top 8, but another rider on 5 points with an opportunity with a race win. Squeezing right is now on, finally. Yeah, it took his while. Marek Vojens, the Polish referee, who can be a little bit unpredictable.
He has been tonight.
Indeed, he won Sweden tonight.
Keep going on about that.
I do, it's a bit of a bee in the bonnet, isn't it? But there we go. I'll move on tomorrow. Waiting for the restaging of Heat 17, Nigel. It's been a good night, isn't it? It's been, you know, with Woofenden now getting amongst the points. He's got a very tough Heat 18 to get more points. It's very tough. You've got Kasperzak, Pedersen and Jensen in and around him. So if he picks up more points this evening, that will be job done for him. Don't know why we've got the delay though.
Why is there no 2 minutes on now? That's an interesting one, because the crowd are being kept waiting here. And there's no 2-minute time allowance on at this particular stage. The race director has not called for that to be implemented, so we'll be on with the action shortly, no doubt. Number 17, the track is clear, it's ready for action. And just a reminder, of course, the World Championship returns in 2 weeks' time at the Friends Arena in Stockholm. What a night that promises to be. It's a brilliant venue in a wonderful city in Stockholm, Sweden. And then 4 weeks tonight, it's the last round of the World Championship in the Marianne Rose Arena in Torun in Poland. What a finale to this Speedway season we're going to have, Kelvin.
It is. It's going to be extra special with the way it's all working out. And as you rightly say, the Friends Arena is a state-of-the-art modern-day stadium, which is a joy to go to. I'm sure the riders enjoyed as well. Pedersen just limbering up for his last ride, because Heat 18 is quite a showdown. Before that, we've got Heat 17 to get underway. The team leader on 10 points. He's ridden supremely well. Great scenes as they come out there onto the track. Full stadium, full auditorium. Really is, the public are close here to the action, so it generates a great atmosphere. And all credit, there's a lot of German people here, with Smolinski in the race as well. They'll be supporting their man. But yes, this has been a good night of Speedway.
Yeah, and this venue has got a lot of history and tradition. I mentioned earlier that Peter Adams is entitled to this big corner these days. Team manager of the Wales supporters played his part. With Robbie Olsen into the track design here at Vojens, and of course back in the UK as well, it's good news where Bellevue races are concerned, with planning permission granted for the new National Speedway Stadium and the Bellevue Sports Village. Grand Prix man Matty Zagar was there at the Council House to help celebrate that news, so congratulations to everybody that has made it possible at Bellevue. Hopefully not too far away from the start of construction of that particular site in Manchester, UK. Here we go, Martin Smolinski off the inside in red, Andreas Johnson goes off gate 2 blue, and Peter Killerman off gate 3. 3 riders only. We'll try again with Heat 17.
Yeah, here we go, second time of asking. Peter Kilderman, who's been in dominant form tonight, 3 race wins to his name. Andreas Johnson fighting for his life, as is Smolinski on the inside, but AJ has plenty of Grand Prix experience and Grand Prix victories. Can he make the semi-finals this evening?
Here we go. Smolinski from the inside gate. Now Killerman will try to jump on the inside as Johnson goes wide. Smolinski's lost control, and Killerman is there, and Johnson comes through as well. It just appeared as though Smolinski got too much unexpected drive there, and Peter Killerman has the lead from Andreas Johnson second, Martin Smolinski third, and Peter Killerman, the wild card, is going to have first pick of gate positions in the semi-finals.
Well, Martin Smolinski there, that's a shame for him, because he made such a good effort and to lift so violently, and that opened the door for Kilderman, and then of course Johnson charged through as well. Kilderman now going to finish on 13 points. What an effort from the wildcard this evening. Such an entertaining rider, spectacular rider. Johnson in second place, pushing hard, with Smolinski now back in third, won't make the semi-finals. Peter Kilderman is a star man tonight so far.
Yep, he's going to go on to 13 points here. Peter Kilderman of Denmark! What a performance! Spectacular, always great to watch, and he's topped the score charts here ahead of the semi-finals. There's still 3 heats to go, but he cannot be caught when he comes to the top of the score charts. for the semi-finals. 13 points for Peter Kilderman. Fantastic effort from him, and he will have first choice of a gate position for his semi-final.
Well,
superb.
Yeah, it is superb, Nigel. Spot on, and you've got to say that he deserves to be the top man so far. He's ridden with real verve so far this evening.
Killerman, the race winner, Andreas Jonsson second, Martin Smolinski was third, Chris Harris, of course, disqualified there. Killerman on 13, Jonsson on 9, a rare semi-final appearance on the way for Andreas Jonsson.
But Peter Kilderman, he is a man on the move, and he looks very accomplished at this level. Doesn't respect anybody's reputations, he just goes out there. Initially, it's Martin Smolinski, he makes a good effort, but there, that just blows it for the German, just relaxes too early on the bike. In the middle of the corner, and look at Peter Kilderman, comes charging up the inside, then bounces off the dirt down the fence as they go into the third turn on the opening lap. And then AJ, of course, Andreas Jonsson follows him through, just moves out of the way in the nick of time, Andreas Jonsson there. They could have got collected, and that could have been a nasty incident. Kilderman out in front has plenty of speed. The concentration of the Danish rider as he charges off that dirt, wins in fine style, and Andreas Jonsson, fair play to him in the semi-final this evening.
Now we move on to heat number 18. Before we do that, here we see Killerman 13, Jonsson 9, both in the semi-finals.
Good effort.
Heat number 18 now, when it comes to the lead in the World Championship, Ty Woffenden is in blue off gate 2 here, and he is 9 points behind Greg Hancock. Now, Woffenden knows that he needs a win here to extend his evening to the semi-finals, but he's got Kasper Zak alongside him, who's on 98. He's got Pedersen on the outside of him, who's on 100. And he's got Jebsen Jensen, who's in fantastic form, off the outside. It's a tall order for this man, the reigning champion, Ty Woffenden, battling through agonising pain in his left hand.
It just doesn't get any easier, does it? And heat 18, it is some race here.
Kasper Zak off the inside on 6 points, Woffenden off 2 on 5, Pedersen off 3 on 7, Jebsen Jensen off the outside on 7. As Greg Hancock goes, in terms of not being able to ride tonight, you have to say that results pretty much have gone his way. It could have been a lot worse.
Absolutely. You know, if Woffenden had come out and not racing so fun this evening, it would have been a different state of affairs. Here we go!
So, who's going to hit that first turn? And now it's Kasper Zak and Pedersen. They're beating each other up. Here comes Woffenden on the inside. Kasper Zak on for the lead. Jebsen Jensen around the outside, and Woffenden's third. Now Nicky Pedersen is going to try and get the better of Woffenden. Woffenden now on the inside line, and he's passed Jebsen Jensen into second place now. Kasper Zak low with the lead, and Jebsen Jensen almost collects Woffenden's back wheel. Pedersen comes through into third as well. This would put Nicky on to 8 points, and Ty Woffenden would finish the night on 7. Christoph Kasper Zak though kicking on.
How on earth did Michael Jebsen Jensen miss the back of him? I can't believe he didn't run in the back of Ty Woffenden. Brilliant opportunity right here for Woffenden, the world champion, to get himself into second place. Kasper Zak responding supremely. Pedersen with a lap to go. He's chasing hard in third, and disappointment for Jebsen Jensen. Oh! How on earth did he avoid him?
Well, he's picked up some drive there and almost collected Woffenden. It's Kasper Zak who takes his checkered flag. Ty Woffenden moves on to 7 points there, and you could say it has been worth all the pain. He has halved Greg Hancock's lead tonight. His hand is off the left handlebar immediately. He has halved Greg Hancock's lead. But Christoph Kasper Zak and Nicky Pedersen are heading through to the semi-finals, and they can still make an impact and get the better of this young man.
They can indeed, but he had the good fortune on his side there, because at 2 times in that race he had riders clambering all over the back of him. How on earth Jebsen Jensen missed him, I don't know. And then later on Pedersen very nearly clouted him, but what a speedway race.
Kasper Zak the winner, Woffenden second, Nicky Pedersen was third, and it does mean that this is how it stands. Woffenden has gone into the top 8 on 7 points, but you have to say with Holder and Lindgren on 7 with a race left, well, it's an outside shot for him to be in the semi-finals, Ty Woffenden.
Good comeback from Kasper Zak. He had a 0 in his previous ride, but this was more like it from him. Got to watch this race again. This was really quite entertaining, because initially the 2 boys there with Kasper Zak forcing Pedersen wide, it had opened the door for the Woffenden just to creep round the inside and get himself into third. He then does exactly the same here in turns 3 and 4.
and gets the better of Jepsen Jensen as they start the second lap. Into second place. How on earth Jepsen Jensen misses him there? That was really close, and that relegates him to the back because Pedersen is able to then jump in and get himself amongst the points. Later on in the race, Nicky Pedersen nearly does lift in actual fact, very nearly ran into the back of Ty. Kasperzak moving on to 9 points from his 5 rides. And I've got to say, that's a great effort from Ty Woofenden to pick up 7 points this evening.
We could still end up back behind Pedersen and Kasperzak tonight. As we expect, he won't make the semi-finals. He's still in the top 8 right now, but clinging on.
7 points is a good return after the start of tonight. 0 from 2, and then 7 from the last 3. That's excellent.
Well, there's going to be 4 riders going to Stockholm in a couple of weeks' time, presuming Ty and Greg can make it with their injuries. There's going to be 4 riders chasing for the World Championship.
Wide open.
In a couple of weeks' time. Nikolai Busk-Jakobsen off the inside. Mikkel Beck goes off gate number 2. Freddie Lindgren gate 3 in white. And Kenneth Pierre, who's been very quick tonight, goes off the outside in yellow.
Yeah, Kenneth Pierre's been he's done himself proud. He's got 9 from 4, and he can add to that right now. And he needs to, of course, because he's outside the top 8 and fighting for his life. Freddie Lindgren is likewise very much the same. So valuable World Championship points here.
Good start for Lindgren. Gate number 3 in the white helmet coming in. Yeah, he's slow out the start for the first time of the night. He's well and truly adrift at the back as the 2 youngsters go wheel to wheel down the back straight here. It's Beck in the blue and Jakobsen is the man in red. With Kenneth Pierre now closing ground. Freddie Lindgren has the lead and the 2 young dames are chasing hard.
They are indeed, and it was a really good effort from Lindgren to get out of gate 3. Nico Beck looks dangerous in second place. He's pushing hard. The young Danish rider, of course, the World Cup winner 2 years ago, is having a really good go at Freddie Lindgren. Lindgren's going to have eyes on the back of his head. Beck up the inside. What a move! Super move from Nico Beck. Brilliant ride.
Absolutely, and Lindgren's coming back for more as well. We're seeing some great speedway tonight. Into the last lap we go. Mikkel Beck has that lead. Second place Freddie Lindgren. Third is Kenneth Pierre, who has already got the better here now, and Busk Jakobsen, who's at the back. And now, coming into the final turn, down to the line, Mikkel Beck goes over the line. Well, Lindgren second and Pierre was third. More great speedway here in heat number 19. Not sure about the show boating over the line from Mr. Beck there.
Exactly. Very nearly cost him a race win because a great last corner from Freddie Lindgren very nearly stole the win away from him. It was awfully close as it went over the line. Mikkel Beck rode nicely and is celebrating in style and has enjoyed the ride, and fair play to him, but Freddie Lindgren was not very far away.
Absolutely. And now the result. Mikkel Beck Jensen the winner with Freddie Lindgren second and Kenneth Pierre was third. Yeah, on 10 points, Lindgren on 9, and Woofenden is now in the last place in 8th for the semi-finals. He's got Chris Holder on 7, and Matti Zagar is outside of the top 8 on 5, so it does appear that Woofenden will miss out.
Yeah, that's a shame for him, but I think it's job done, really. Freddie Lindgren's been very consistent tonight. He's just finished with 4 second places tonight, so he's ridden well. He was out in front here, but just did not have enough speed to resist the charge from young Mikkel Beck Jensen here. Got to say, Beck rides very well because he gets himself in the right position. Freddie Lindgren struggling for pace, can't get off the corner, and Mikkel Beck works it out, and as sweet as you like, comes charging up the inside of him, and it rides a stormer. Got to say, this wheelie at the end of the race very nearly cost him the win because Lindgren was charging hard and closing fast, but Mikkel Beck is delighted, the team delighted. 7 points is not a bad return.
He's a good rider, there's no doubt about that, Mikkel Beck. Got a great future ahead of him, very classy rider as well. Actually rode in the Premier League in the UK for Plymouth and had a spell this year with the Lakeside Hammers in the Elite League, but that spell came to an end with a bunch of comments that perhaps his unavailability for certain Lakeside fixtures was difficult, but Beck himself was disappointed and surprised that they released him.
Yeah, I read that. Disappointing to hear that coming out, so a little bit of aggravation between the club and the rider, but you're right, Nigel, there's no question he is a quality rider.
Yarrick Apple off the inside in red. Troy Batchelor, what a night he's had. He goes off gate 2 in blue. Matti Zagar, he goes off gate 3 in white. I believe he's only on 5 points, he's better than that. Well, off the outside in yellow is Chris Holder. So here we go with heat number 20.
Zagar's been down, Nigel. In his last 2 rides, he's failed to score. So yeah, huge pressure on the lead here. So yeah, big race for the Zagar.
That would lead Nicky. Dear, Chris Holder. Yeah, absolutely. And the race continues, and now Chris Holder tries the inside switch with Bachelor having the lead. Now under pressure here, Chris Holder, who jumped the start. The race was continuing. Referee allowed it to continue, but Bachelor has the lead now. Chris Holder is second after a fantastic move. Zagar is there in third, just about ahead of Garrick Campbell. But again, more drama here in Vojens.
Yeah, but Holder was lucky there, and he worked out the first corner for him because he missed the start and then was able to jump to the inside and got himself in the second place. But this is a good race. Bachelor out in front, they're all over him. Zagar working overtime in third place. Wheels in line, he's going to come at Holder. He's looking for a way through. Bachelor having a super GP, really riding well. Zagar on the inside of Holder, a lap to go. Good speedway again.
Oh, it's fast, it's furious, and they're into the last lap. Bachelor's on his way through to the semi-finals. Chris Holder in second place. That'll do him nicely as well on 9. That'll take him through. Zagar's going to miss out though. It's a clear run for Nicky Pedersen in the semi-finals to try and get the better of Ty Woffenden to overhaul him and close the gap on Greg Hancock. But the way things are looking, it's very, very tight for the world title and for the top 8 as well. It's that part of the season. Bachelor still believes. He still believes
What a night for
that he
Bachelor.
can make the top 8.
He scored 11 points from his last 4 rides after finishing last and looking very poor and down in the dumps after his first ride. So a great return for Troy Bachelor. Fair play to him.
Drama here in Vojens with Bachelor, Holder, Zagar and Hampel finishing last there in Heat 20.
Yeah, good stuff from Troy Bachelor. He's only dropped 1 point in his last 4 outings, and that's great stuff. That's top form, and that's as good as Peter Gilderman. Oh, Holder was lucky there. Very impatient on gate 4. He spoke about it with Chris. He fancied it, but it works out because they all go charging up the banking in the first corner, and he's able to slip up the inside and immediately gets himself into second place. Bitter disappointment for Zagar this evening. Just has not been able to put it together when he really needed it to. Started well with 5 from 2 rides and then has faded badly. Just scored 1 point in the next 3 outings and you could not see that coming. Bachelor, 11 points from his 5 rides this evening. Comfortably into the semi-finals, giving himself a very good chance of securing his Grand Prix future. Credit to him.
Well, what it means, that results in the final race of the qualifiers. Greg Hancock is now on 112, Ty Woffenden's on 105, Nicky Pedersen, who is a semi-finalist here now tonight, is on 101, and Matty Zagar, 97. It's a missed opportunity
Without doubt.
for Zagar because he's 15 adrift of Hancock with 2 rounds to go. So Nicky Pedersen with 5 points in the semi and the final will go above Ty Woffenden into second place.
Still not a disaster for Greg Hancock.
It's not.
It's not. It's worked out.
And it's job done by Woffenden, really.
It is, because
7
when you
points.
saw how hard he had to push himself just to ride the motorbike, let alone win a race.
If he hadn't touched the tapes in that first ride of his, he'd be in the semi-final.
He would be, but how many more races he could have done this evening, that would have been...
No, you've got to take your hat off to him.
You have, and all credit to him. But no, it's been a really good Grand Prix.
I've
thoroughly enjoyed it. It's been good stuff. Riders fighting for their Grand Prix lives, and all credit to them. You know, riders like Freddie Lindgren and Andreas Jonsson, both of those 2 Swedish riders have, well, they've been below par this year. Kenneth Pierre, what a return to form for him, and Troy Bachelor. It's great stuff, and Peter Gilderman, that's a very different looking leaderboard, I must say, this evening than the ones we've become accustomed to seeing. You know, but Peter Gilderman looking good. He'll have the first pick, as you rightly said earlier.
Darcy Ward is now out of the top 8. Situation with Darcy for our Australian viewers is that he is suspended pending final decision from an FIM investigating jury, and he is not banned at this stage. It's a suspension, and we await the final decision. Now, here we have the top 8, clear-cut now. Nicky Pedersen sneaking in on 8 points. Now, Greg Hancock will be delighted to see this. Nicky Pedersen, 8 points. then he'd be even more delighted to see Ty Woffington 7 and Matty Zagar 6 when it comes to the title race. But of course, we have to say, you know, we don't like anybody. We don't like to see riders hurt. It's as simple as that. But it has it's just been another subplot in this year's Grand Prix.
Yeah, it has been a night where it could have been worse for Greg Hancock, but as it's played out, it's really done, you know, not him too much harm. Inside gate has been very fruitful, and gate 2 also. Gate 4 has been tough, and it's a long way from gate 4, and the move in the first corner also, with lack of grip on the inside, has proved to be very difficult. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. It doesn't always follow that those stats, that riders would adhere to that. They quite often win a race late in the meeting and then feel comfortable to go from a less rancid gate. And also, we do see track conditions change quite quickly later on in a Grand Prix. So, interesting to see what the decisions are regarding the gate picks. And Peter Gilderman, who has done himself proud tonight, has entertained this big home crowd, will be the first one to choose where he's going to start.
Yeah, what a night for Peter Gilderman. It's brilliant. He comes hot off the heels after a win for the wildcard Bartosz Smarslik in Gorzów 2 weeks ago. It's just astonishing, yeah, very much so.
Quite a story, and it could be another wildcard victory for him tonight and winning his first Grand Prix. That would be quite a story in itself.
There's some stars emerging, Kel. Bartosz Smarslik, Michael Jepsen-Jensen. There's some boys that are raring to go as GP riders.
They are.
Killerman tonight, they would love it, wouldn't they?
Oh yes, and as I say, there's plenty of young talent kicking around. The championship they lead, you saw there briefly, with Greg Hancock still having a healthy lead, and Nicky Pedersen's going to have to come up with 2 very strong rides if he wants to eke into that and get himself into second place. So all in all, Greg will be looking at that thinking, crikey, if I can get myself back on a bike for 2 weeks' time in Sweden, then to all intents and purposes, it hasn't been that detrimental for him to miss a Grand Prix for the first time. For the first time.
Yeah, astonishing. I think Greg will be satisfied with the score chart tonight. Ty Woffington, I think, will be satisfied with his efforts. Yeah. You know, I think it's just setting it up brilliantly for the last 2 rounds. Here we go, yeah.
So, Peter Gilderman, decision time for him. Not entirely sure, having a good think about it, but gate 1 would be, gate 2. Gate 2 for Peter. Kasperzak, who's been up and down tonight, he will be looking at the inside gate. Got to be the inside gate, yeah, no surprise for KK to go inside 9. Holder, who's ridden well this evening. Gate 3 for him. Which is, and Freddie Lindgren now goes off the outside, who has had he's battled hard, Lindgren. I don't think he had quite the pace he would have liked, but he's in the semi-final.
Yeah, he's ridden well. Worked hard for his points, Freddie. Hasn't won a race, but he's been consistent and has worked hard.
4 second places after a first time out, so as you say, he's worked hard. Troy Batchelor, of course, now he's had a good night. Batchelor's only dropped a point in his last 4 rides, and he's ignored the outside gates. Straight to the inside for Troy, and on the stats, the gate wins, that is the one to go for. Pierre, got to be gate 2, yeah. Pierre going well as Batchelor. What a night for the riders outside the top 8. Andreas Jönsson, another one, battling for their Grand Prix lives. Terrific from him. And Nicky Pedersen, who has the big opportunity now. Can he come up with something extra special in the semi-final number 2?
Well, it's going to be hard work from gate number 4, isn't it? He's going to have to really wind it on, but
he will.
If anybody can do it, he can do it.
He will.
And
yes.
Once again, Nicky's put on a great show tonight, hasn't he? He's been in the thick of the action again, and some of the moves that all the boys have pulled off has been spectacular.
Sight to behold at times, you know, when you see how committed they are. Holder and Bier putting on a great show for us earlier on, and Pedersen deciding to sort of take on the safety fence down the back straight at one point. I'm not quite sure who was going to be winning. I think it was Even Stevens as they charged into turn 3 at the end of it. Really, I think it was a split decision, I think, but no, it's been a good Grand Prix. We've got 3 very exciting heats to come at the business end of this meeting. Yeah, looking forward to it very much.
Well, not sure about the plans for next year. We know that we're having a Grand Prix in Denmark, in this part of the world, in Jutland, but also by the same token, Kelvin, you would have to say And that will draw into question whether we will have a second Grand Prix in Denmark here at Vojens. And really, it is a shame. I'm delighted that we're going to a football stadium, modern facilities, and it's fantastic. But when we've seen what we've got here tonight...
Yeah, it's difficult to turn your back.
Vojens has done us proud.
Oh, yeah, Vojens is going out in style, that's for sure. And
we'll be back.
Yeah, it's always going to be here. It's a permanent venue. They've got covers for the track. It's good infrastructure. And when you see it so well attended here, and as you said earlier on, Nigel, there's a very rich history here. World finals.
Good evening!
Grand Prix. It's coming up for 40 years old, so yeah, it's a long-term venue with a big history. The Danes love coming here.
They do. It's a great racetrack. The fans have turned out the first. So, riders being pushed off. It's semi-final time here in Vojens. And Christoph Kasperzak is the man in red here.
Semifinale nummer 1. Altså den gælde farve. Chris Holder.
Kasperzak 9 points to his name so far.
Yeah, an opportunity also for Take, of course, who another rider with a great opportunity to, really eke into that lead of Greg Hancock. Kasperzak hasn't been rock solid tonight. He has been a bit in and out of the last place. The sort of rider, if he hits the front, it's hard to pick back because he's got a lot of pace. Coming out of gate 2. This is a good lineup of riders in good form. Holder hasn't been to a final of late. Really thrilled if he could do here this season.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. It's a high-quality semi-final showdown. Can Killerman make it through to a final here in his home country, Denmark? Peter Killerman with one Grand Prix final appearance to his name. It's his 4th Grand Prix. The record that'd be if he can make it 2 finals in 4 GPs.
Wow, every chance.
Yeah. So, looking forward to what could be a spectacular race here with these 4 riders. Fantastic stuff. It's a semi-final, first semi-final then here in Vojens. It's coming up right now. Here we go with the first semi-final. Christoph Kasperzak off the inside in red. Peter Killerman goes off gate number 2 in blue. Chris Holder gate 3 in white, and Freddie Lindgren going off the outside in yellow. Kasperzak and Pedersen, semi-finalists. They are 2 riders who can overhaul Woffenden, second spot in the World Championship tonight. It's a great start from Kasperzak. Wonderful start from the inside gate, and now punching up behind him, and Killerman has got speed around the outside. And Kasperzak looking quick. Oh, surely they're off. My goodness me. They stay off. Yeah, and Killerman now on the inside of Kasperzak. What a ride for the Wildcat! And Kasperzak's coming back for more.
Brilliant speedway on the opening lap. How on earth Freddie Lindgren didn't take Chris Holder out there is a miracle. Look at Kasperzak coming up Kilderman. Kilderman has ridden so strongly in the opening part of this race, and he's out in front. Kasperzak looked like he had him, and he could not resist the charge for Peter Kilderman, the wild card. Holder's going to be frustrated. What a strong move. That really killed his chance because he's in the 3rd place. Peter Kilderman looking like he's going through for another final.
Yep, second final in 4 GPs for Killerman. He kicks the fence down the back straight. He's on his way to the final. And with a second place for Christoph Kasperzak, KK goes within 2 points of Ty Woffenden now in second spot in the World Championship, with Nicky Pedersen still to come. But the crowd are absolutely delighted. And 1 hour to go. Bartosz Marslik did it in Gorzów. And here we are in Vojens. Peter Killerman. These wildcards aren't too bad.
They were fairly steady early in the year, but suddenly they burst into life. They're obviously taking something, because I'll tell you what, Peter Kilderman, what an opening lap that was. It was truly extraordinary. The move from Freddie Lindgren, how on earth they avoided each other, Holder and him. Tell you what, that was really tough, but Peter Kilderman, dynamic once again.
Yeah, Kilderman and Kasperzak go through to the final here at Vojens. Chris Holder 3rd, and that means that Chris Holder finishes the evening on 10 points. Freddie Lindgren finishes on 9. He'll be disappointed with that, although didn't win a race tonight. Jakob Olsen with Peter Killerman. Jakob Peter, Jakob is son of Holly Olsen, of course, course, and a former rider himself. But great stuff. This was super speedway.
Yeah, this was tough speedway too. It's Kasperzak initially who makes a great start from the inside. Holder just caught in traffic when coming out of gate 3, and Kasperzak now comes into this third corner for the first time of asking, and Peter Kilderman just rides so close to him. Can't believe it. No racing room at all, and gets up the inside of the Polish rider, and then it really is nip and tuck for a lap or two. But got to say, the wild card Peter Kilderman, 13 points before this race, moves on to 16 now, bouncing off the fence down the straight, looking for every ounce of pace he possibly can get.
Great shot of his eyes.
Look at that, he was enjoying that big time, and Jakob Olsen clearly enjoying the experience with him. Into the final again, can he win tonight?
16 points.
What a return.
Well, there you go. And here we go with the second semi-final. Kasperzak with 1 or 2 alterations to the bike, perhaps, or just general maintenance on the machine as we build up to heat number 22. We know that Kasperzak is into the final, and he can catch Woffenden now in second place, and so can Nicky Pedersen if he finishes in the first 2 here in this second semi-final. Troy Batchelor off the inside in red, Kenneth Pierre gate 2 in blue, Andreas Johnson gate 3 in white, and Nicky Pedersen off the outside in yellow.
Well, 3 of these riders have really found it difficult this year, and it is, you know, they weren't making semi-finals earlier on, and all of a sudden they have, you know, with crunch time coming and Grand Prix futures on the line, they have upped their game. Fantastic for them. Got to say, Nicky Pedersen's going to find it tough here, because coming from the outside, which has proved very difficult this evening, Pedersen's going to have to be at his best here if he's going to make the final.
Very close to the fence on gate number 4. Here, this is the second semi-final. There's a point away for Pedersen to go. Can he get there? What a ride! Oh! Pierre's down! Yep, Kenneth Pierre down. He's landed awkwardly there in that first turn.
Yeah, and Nicky Pedersen had made an absolute rocket from the outside. That's the sort of thing he can produce, but that was a heavy fall for Kenneth Pierre. High siding, just getting squeezed up. Mechanics, his brother, sprinting across the centre green. Concern for Pierre.
Yeah, it's a heavy impact fall, isn't it, that?
High speed.
Yeah.
And a high side where you get flipped over and get slammed into the track. I think he hit the track before he hit the air fence, so plenty of concern for him.
Yeah, I'm sure that the referee will look at that and maybe put all 4 back in. I'm not sure that we're going to see a replay at this stage until we know that Kenneth's going to be okay.
What a start from Pedersen. You built it up, Nige. He was the sort of rider. I thought it might prove to be difficult from there, but he proved me entirely wrong. Brilliant start. Bike's being carried away. Yeah, that looks second-hand. Hard impact for that. And the rider. The body took a real big blow when he got flipped over. And just from the high speed, it looked like he actually slammed against the track first before he hit the fence.
Yeah, fingers crossed for Kenneth. It's a high impact crash there for the Dane, who has ridden very well tonight. His brother Lassebiere is there, with his father as well, overseeing the situation. Let's hope he's going to be okay. He's holding his hip at this moment in time. So fingers crossed he's going to be okay, but let's see it again then, Kel.
Yeah, Pedersen from the outside makes a really super start, and Pierre there on gate 2 just gets clipped on the inside and then has nowhere to go. And it's just a racing incident, you know, they're just squeezing up. Semi-final number 2, not a lot of racing room, no malice here at all, just no racing room left for him, with Pedersen coming over so hard from the outside and Batchelor in amongst it. But a very tough fall for Pierre. And I would like to think all 4 will be put back here. I can't see any reason why somebody would be excluded there. Classic case of first corner bunching. No exclusion light on from Marek Wojciech, the referee. But fingers crossed that Kenneth Pierre can actually take his place in rerun, because you can see there when he hits the track, that would have at the very least have knocked all the wind out of his sails.
Well, if Pierre is fit, all 4 riders will be
horrible feeling, and a nasty fall with his arm outstretched. He's going to be feeling that, Nigel.
We're still down on that first turn area, but the referee, just to confirm, has said that all 4 riders back for the restart. But I would say there's got to be some sort of concern as to whether Kenneth can take his place in the restart.
His arm is outstretched, and sometimes you can either break your collarbone or dislocate your shoulder when you go over the high side. He's sort of been thrown clear of his bike, which is good news. but it was a heavy impact. It was a heavy fall for him. And he's a rider that's had a dreadful injury history. Dreadful, broken legs on regular basis. And all credit to him, he's battling back. But at this point in time, when having enjoyed such a good night, 10 points to his name before semi-final number 2, battling for his Grand Prix future.
10 points from his lines tonight, and he's up, he's standing up. I like that. Great to see. Take his place in that restart, because it was a heavy impact fall.
Speedway's a tough game, isn't it, Nige?
If you're in the restart.
No, understandably, plenty of time being given to this rider. Crucial race for him. He's being spoken to. Good to see him up and about, but can't quite see the expression on his face, whether he's in pain or whether he's just beginning to recover, getting over the incident. A certain amount of shock involved, of course, always when you get thrown, and a hard impact off the bike. But just taking his Kevlars off, and want to have a little bit more of a look at him. See it again, Pedersen, as we said initially, this is an excellent effort from him. He comes across, and a bit of contact from Bachelor on the inside, no racing room, and that he gets thrown down hard, doesn't he?
Yeah. But, we are being told that Kenneth Pierre is communicating to the staff down there. Kenneth Pierre is communicating to the staff down there that he wants to ride in the restart.
Well, that's encouraging, and that shows again how committed riders are, Speedway riders are. They get thrown and bashed up big time, but they want to get back out there. That's how keen he wants his Grand Prix future, doesn't he? And he's a rider that Chris Louis was interviewing earlier on, and he's got a twinkle in his eye. He's got that confidence back.
Yeah, enjoying his Speedway.
Yeah, and clearly feeling a bit knocked about and worse for wear, but a bit battered and bruised, but he wants to get back on the bike and give himself a final here tonight in front of his home crowd.
Yeah, he's been in a fine run of form, Kenneth, and 10 points tonight, very quick, away from the start. And also, he's been in the thick of the action with the racing as well. It's not just all been from the gate with Kenneth Pierre tonight.
He was involved in a great race with Chris Holder earlier on, wasn't he, when Holder did actually get the better of him, but it was just a proper Speedway race that we witnessed. Kenneth Pierre there just taking his time, but he looks like he's obviously feeling the full effects of it, but I reckon he's just beginning to shrug that off, and he's going to be putting his helmet on and raring to go for semi-final number 2.
Fair play to him, absolutely brilliant to see. He's got a smile on his face now as well. These boys are unbelievable. And just look at this, he's smiling and walking away from this, remember?
Boom. Ooh. It's there when the arm's outstretched where he was vulnerable to an injury, and fortunately he doesn't get collected by his bike. He gets thrown clear, and that was good news for him, but I would think initially he was just feeling the effects of it, and almost certainly he would have been winded when he came off the bike.
Yeah, he's going to be sore tomorrow, Kel.
Yeah, he'll feel like a herd of elephants have run over him in the morning, but won't worry about that if he's won the final and he's made it.
Yeah, late in the final on the line, so here we see the World Championship standings. Christoph Kasperzak 103 right now, and lower down we see Kenneth Pierre on 70, currently in 11th place. Troy Batchelor's on 77, Darcy Ward we know is suspended on 75, but Pierre on 70, level with Martin Smolinski. 2 more good rounds after tonight. He could well be top 8.
He's showing the speed that would suggest he has a very good chance of making the top 8 if he can maintain it. Consistency at this level is very difficult. Nicky Pedersen just preparing, as Nicky Pedersen does. A good chap in his team, and he's got very professional outfit. He really has all the bases covered. With JJ Johnson back in his team, there you just see him in the background there. Lisa, his physiotherapist, is always ever present now. And I've got to say that he's a rider that does go to the nth degree to make sure that he's well and truly prepared. But Pedersen will be a touch frustrated because that was an extra special start he had there from the outside night, and now he's got to do it again.
Yeah, it was a wonderful start from gate 4, so quick away from the gate, and I did say, didn't I, it's a long way there, but if anybody can do it, Nicky can do it, and he certainly did.
Yes.
Now he's got to do it all over again, and that's tough.
It is tough, and he's going to have to find that extra little bit of grip. He started right up against the safety fence, obviously got a little bit of dirt there. Johnny Jorgensen, I was fortunate enough to ride with him for 6 years at Coventry. We had a lot of success, and John's quite a calming influence for Nicky, and it's no surprise to me in the last few Grand Prix when John's been in attendance that Nicky's emotions have been, he has been calmer. And this is an opportunity for him, for Kasperzak and for Pedersen, and now they've just got to be patient. But Jakob Olsen, of course, had a brief spell as a rider and is very enthusiastic. Won several push bike shops here in Denmark very successfully. Son of Ollie Olsen, of course. Peter Kilderman, he's a rider that is looking very good this evening, and 16 points. Great for a win tonight.
Well, a little bit of extra time here because Kenneth Pierre will have to be checked out by the medical staff in the medical room here at Vojens, just to establish that he can actually resume riding in heat number 22. More ongoing treatment for Nicky Pedersen. John Jorgensen, the man you were just referring to there. Kelvin started his British career with Birmingham at the old Perry Bar Stadium.
That's right, he did, yes.
And then with Coventry, as you say, a teammate of yours.
Very successful. He had a great pairing with Ricky Miller in the middle part of the team, and they were a 5-1 machine, and we won 2 back-to-back league titles together, and a very successful time we had, and a very enjoyable time as well. Peter Kilderman, this is a little frustrating for all concerned here because we were building up to it, and it's now, you know, with Kenneth Pierre having a nasty incident, but having to be patient, and it's tough for riders that aren't. You know, Nicky Pedersen in particular, he's the one that's got to try and maintain his focus and put it to the back of his mind that he was in front, a final place within his grasp.
Well, I think the procedure has to be here that the race director, Tony Olsen, will only put 2 minutes on once the medical staff have assured him that they're okay to get into racing in that. Looks like these people are back together.
Next up,
ready for action.
The left class here and there, and put his suit back on. Rather giving him a hand, but yeah, it looks to all intents and purposes. Bike being moved up, because obviously that bike was on. He can't be ridden.
Well, you know what? If you just took Kenneth's race jacket and put it on Lasser, you wouldn't notice any difference, would you? With a crash helmet on.
What do you suggest?
A fully fit Lasser or a beaten-up Kenneth. Just go for it, boys.
Well, the downside here, Nige, is that he's going to change his equipment.
Yes.
Hasn't raced this bike this evening, and that's a little bit of obviously a shame for him because he's flying on the other ride, and they're having to warm it up because obviously the engine's being cold, so they won't expect you to have to use it. So now, last minute change of plans.
How long does that mean? How long does the bike need to warm up?
At least 2 or 3 minutes to get the engine. It's chilled off now this evening, so yeah, he needs to get it up to decent temperature, so he's not potential. But yeah, gently getting ready. The all-important second time.
Just trying to imagine the feelings of Keith Chapman and Rob Lyon and Kings Lynn. They know that Niels Christian Everson's out.
Yeah, good point.
And Kenneth Pierre, and the playoffs are coming as well in the UK, so they don't need any more injuries. Lewis Rose as well at reserve for Kings Lynn.
Look at that bike,
Big
Nigel.
hit.
That looks like it's been through a hedge backwards, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's going to take some repair, isn't it?
It won't be repairable. They've just got to throw it away.
Really?
Yeah, the frame and the forks are just history, particularly the diamond and where the tank is. It's just broken its back effectively.
So there's nothing that can be salvaged?
Oh yeah, there is. The handlebars and the twist grip and the cover probably, but the diamond and the forks and the front wheel and the shock absorber all look history to me.
Okay. Expensive stuff.
Don't worry about that if he wins.
No, he won't.
No, he'll, but taking his time.
Well, it's only a matter of time now before the riders are back out, and Nicky Pedersen's got to do it all again. Troy Batchelor, picture of concentration. He has improved, and we remember that night in Copenhagen. He likes Denmark, Troy Batchelor.
He does indeed. It's been very kind to him. 20 points he scored there and gave himself a lifeline, and then he had a dreadful meeting in Cardiff just a couple of weeks later, which I don't understand at all, but the credit to him, he hasn't let that affect him too much, and he's now, you know, battling hard to get into the top 8 to be around in the Grand Prix Series for next year. So bikes now on their way, riders now, helmets on the equipment, engines running, and it's exciting rerun of semi-final number 2.
Yep, ready for action again. Here we go for the second semi-final here in Vojens, the Vojens Speedway Centre. 40 years old. Come on. Many memorable moments down the years, including that last ever World Final in 1994. When Billy Hamill picked Nielsen for the World Title in 1996.
That was a big night.
Yeah. Eric Gunderson in 88. He's here tonight. Eric, many fantastic moments down the years here. And here comes Kenneth Pierre now from the pits area, which is great to see, and no wonder he gets a fantastic welcome from the Danish fans.
Yeah, rightly so, and yeah, he's obviously going to just take a few deep breaths, but now after that tough incident, he's got to put that to the back of his mind, and he's got to try and make an extra special start. Spare bike, so it won't be easy, but yeah, a big racing prospect, big, valuable World Championship points on the line for all these boys.
His brother Lasse urging him on here in this second semi-final. Troy Batchelor off the inside, Kenneth Pierre off 2, Andreas Jonsson off 3, Nicky Pedersen off the outside, Peter Killerman and Christoph Kasperzak await here for the final lineup. So this race is done, and we'll have another pick of gate positions for the grand final itself. But the bigger picture here, Nicky Pedersen off the outside gate, 101 GP points, has an opportunity to close that gap further on second place Ty Woffenden, who, if you have just joined us, has finished tonight on 7 points, a remarkable effort with all the agony that he's going through. Here we go, second semi-final here in Vojens. Oh, and that was a little bit of a shaky start. The leaders were actually, the red lights are on.
Had to be. Andreas Jonsson was very keen to get underway there, just a little bit impatient and moved early, and I agree with the referee here. Pretty much had to be a red lights on. Now we're going to see another delay.
Yep, but it had to be done. Pulled back here.
Andreas Jonsson moves very early.
Ooh.
And he's a lucky boy that he didn't touch the tapes and throw away the opportunity of making the final. So trying to get away with it. Probably aware that Pedersen is a major danger coming from the outside. Be very surprised if there's an exclusion. I can't believe there will be. All four back, and we get the. Well, we've got actually 2 riders that have left the track.
Gone back to the pits, yeah. Nicky and Kenneth have gone back to the pits area. Bit of refueling. But, here we go for the third restart. Andreas Jonsson fortunate there not to touch the tapes. Still await the second semi-final here in Vojens tonight. A reminder, Stockholm is next in a fortnight's time. Then we have Torren at the final round of the World Championship. And right now, you cannot predict a world champion this year with any confidence whatsoever.
No, it's an intriguing situation. Andreas Jonsson up at the start line, having a dig around, but looking at Andreas Jonsson's record here, to make 22 finals. He's had 8 Grand Prix wins, so that in itself is very respectable. If Andreas Jonsson could make the final here this evening, then he knows he's a potential winner because he's not frightened to win Grand Prix. I really don't like this.
He's caused the stoppage of the race, Andreas Jonsson, and now he's got all the free time here to look at his starting gate position on gate number 3, and there's no 2 minutes time allowance until...
You know my feelings on this.
It's not even come on.
Yeah, but it's an unnecessary delay. I don't know why they don't just get waved straight back round to the tapes.
Well, there we are. Meanwhile, AJ, the man who moved at the start and caused the red lights to come on, is still doing some gardening. Gate number 3, trying to find the best part on the starting gate area to get maximum drive.
He's just digging the ruts out there just to try and find something. Maybe
the 2 minutes is on.
So we will see a race shortly, people. And less than 2 minutes now, he'll make his way back to his motorbike. But it was just really taking the opportunity to have a little bit, if there was an opportunity to find a little bit better rut to give himself a chance of making a better start.
At least he didn't pick an implement from the side, like a spade, like Ty Woffenden in the British final. That got a little bit farcical, but I'm sure there'll be some rules in place in the winter to prevent that happening again. But anyway, second semi-final is coming up here now. Same 4 riders, all 4 back for the restart.
Pierre's slow coming out.
Yeah.
Taking his time, just over a minute to go, so he's still okay, but I'm not really sure my riders are allowed to go back to the pits.
We are told Kenneth Pierre will not ride. Our pain is too much. There will only be 3 riders in this semi-final.
Well,
Kenneth Pierre.
That's very disappointing, and I do think that is a result when his arm was outstretched in the track. I get the feeling that this is now suddenly stiffened up and he's feeling very vulnerable about it and he doesn't want to ride.
He's given it the maximum amount of time he possibly can to decide whether to go out for it. But quite clearly, Kelvin, he's gone out there and he's done half a lap there and he's decided he can't do it. Troy Batchelor off the inside, no rider off gate 2, Andreas Johnson gate 3 in white, and Nicky Pedersen going off the outside in yellow here. And you have to feel sympathy for Kenneth Pierre. We wish him well. It's going to be okay.
That impact, when you saw it in slow motion, you can see with the arm outstretched, it clearly caused some uncomfortable, very uncomfortable. Terrible shame for him. He's going so well.
3 riders only then. The riders look over their shoulder as if to say, where's Kenneth? Talking to Jepsen Jensen there. And
3 minutes of judgment now.
I wonder if it's going to be a trip to hospital for some x-rays there for Kenneth. Here we go, second semi-final then. That's a good start. Johnson on gate number 3 and Johnson has hit the front. Now what can Nicky Pedersen do? Pedersen is third in yellow, Batchelor holds second. Pedersen now is going to try the inside. The inside of Batchelor! Oh, Batchelor's gone down at high speed and has hit the air fence. Pedersen dived up the inside. The red lights are on and we are going to have a 4th restart, a 4th start to the race here. And now Troy Batchelor is down on the ground. He hit that fence with some speed there.
End of the back straight, high speed, as you say. He did hit the fence very hard. It was a strong move from Nicky Pedersen, but a legitimate one. He was able to get the inside move here. Batchelor tries to respond, but Pedersen's through.
Batchelor's lifted his left leg there.
He has indeed, because he's tried to cover the move, but Pedersen's there. He has made the move earlier enough. He's well and truly alongside. Batchelor coming back at him, and there's just no racing room. A bit of contact. This is a huge decision.
I don't know which way this will go.
I reckon Batchelor's going to get excluded.
Okay. Well, interesting.
Pedersen's made the move quite early there, and he's into the corner. Batchelor's tried to protect that line. It is touch and go. It's a 50-50 call.
Pedersen's gone.
Whoa.
Nicky Pedersen has gone. 2 riders only. The Dane, Nicky Pedersen, has been disqualified.
Wow.
And Troy Batchelor...
I saw that differently. I just think that he would got alongside. He's got to be upset about that, surely.
Well, I wouldn't like to have called that as referee, to be honest, but...
I bet he can't believe it. He can't believe it. You can see it.
Well, it does mean now...
Now he's beginning to... He can't believe the decision. I think Batchelor's a little bit lucky there. He was alongside him, and I think that...
well, we apologise for any language that may have offended you there. Oh, here we go.
But I have a little bit of sympathy for that. You know, he's been excluded twice tonight.
Yeah.
And that one there was not clear-cut for me. I think that he had made a move early enough to get up the inside and...
Yes, I think it was a tough one to call. I could have seen it the other way as well. Was there a gap there, Colin?
There was. The Batchelor then obviously was trying to come back across to protect his situation, but Pedersen's made the move to go for the inside now, gets alongside him, and then there isn't a lot of room. But
did he cause Batchelor to lift his left leg and ultimately come off the motorbike?
He did. And that is it. But he had made the decision to go for the inside move. Now, switching to the outside because Batchelor's moved to the outside, and then Batchelor's trying to cover the position on the inside, and that's where the clash is. It's a very difficult one, but Batchelor, well, he's fortunate, but it's a great boost for Batchelor.
And what it means is that this man, Nicky Pedersen now...
that's all the pent-up frustration, isn't it?
And anger.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely. Yeah. Nicky Pedersen then is on 101 Grand Prix points. Ty Woffenden on 105. Christoph Kasperzak on right now is in the final, so only Kasperzak can close that gap and get the better of Ty Woffenden now. Kasperzak is on 11 points, so Kasperzak is on 103. So if he finishes second in the final, he'll go level with Woffington. If he wins the final, he will go second in the World Championship.
Yeah, and again, I'm going to say it again, Greg Hancock's the winner here, because none of them have really closed in to him. You know, he's still got a bit of a buffer there, hasn't he, Hancock, if he can get himself fit for the next round. And, you know, unfortunate delay here once again, but...
And they will have to go out and complete 4 laps, these boys.
FIM regulations, isn't it? They've got to complete the 4 laps, so it can't be awarded.
So there'll be a bit of extra time allowed to the rider who fell, Troy Batchelor, for his mechanical situation. Well, everything's right. It's just...
We have indeed controversial situation, which was a difficult call. I thought the Batchelor might go there, but I saw it differently to the referee. But Batchelor sort of moved to the outside, and that gave the opportunity for Pedersen to try and get up the inside, and then he tried to protect his position, but it's worked out for Batchelor, and Batchelor's had a good night. And he's scored 11 points in his last 4 outings. Nicky was in there, Batchelor coming across to try and protect it, and Batchelor goes down hard. He's now in the rerun, Pedersen's not, and Pedersen's furious. Difficult one that night, but what was he going to do?
You're not totally sure, are you, Kel?
Not completely sure, but as a racer there, he had the opportunity to get up the inside. He had to go for it, and Batchelor was trying to protect it because he moves to the outside there. He's almost on the fence, coming back towards him. And it's just a clash. It's unfortunate that he, you know, there has to be an exclusion. But
could Batchelor have stayed on the bike?
Oh no, because he's coming back to the corner, and the contact is quite strong. But you know, Pedersen did what any racer would have done then. He's gone for the move because Batchelor's gone to the fence, and of course he can't believe that he's been excluded for the 2nd time this evening.
Well, drama here in Vojens tonight.
I'm sure that'll get social media down.
Just a little bit. Yeah, plenty of opinions. Quite sure of that. And well, let's just hope that Kenneth Pierre is going to be okay after his crash. Riders are going to be okay. This man is Marek Wojciech from Poland. Unpredictable at times, as you said earlier, Kelvin, with his decisions. But well, he is. Some people will agree with that decision, others will disagree. I think that was a 50-50.
Yeah, tough call, really tough call. I saw it differently to the referee, but he's excluded the home favourite, Nicky Pedersen, so Marek Wojciech is concerned about that. Well, these 2 boys, as long as they complete 4 laps here, no mechanical dramas, they're in the final. And AJ and Troy Batchelor battling for their Grand Prix lives. What a boost this is.
Well, there's points on the line as well.
Exactly, World Championship points, every one counts.
Yeah, it's a battle for the top 8. Troy Batchelor off the inside, no rider off 2, we wish Kenneth Pierre well. Andreas Johnson off gate 3. Nicky Pedersen, that is a huge blow for Nicky, not to make the final. But we still say here now that the battle for the World Championship, as we said, that it's going to go all the way to Torren. I'm pretty sure about that. Hancock on 112, Woffington on 105, Christoph Kasperzak on 103, Nicky Pedersen on 100. Don't rule out Matty Zager on 97. Here we go. 75. Formality. Batchelor's got the lead early on. It's a formality. In fact, the back field there, and AJ. We don't want any more shenanigans, guys. So here we go. AJ's having a go now. Cut wide into the dirt. Batchelor has that lead. AJ's now going to come around the outside, and there's no room there. AJ has to get off the throttle because Batchelor is determined here.
He is, and it's not a demonstration, this, is it? This is a proper race. It's a match race between the 2 of them. Batchelor making the start initially, and Johnson having a lot of speed in 2nd place. He wants to win. Johnson rubbing the fence as they start the next lap. Now he jumps back to the inside. What a super speedway race this is. Down the back straight. Johnson charges up the inside of Batchelor. Can Batchelor respond? Not quite. What a ride this is from Johnson.
My goodness, just 2 riders going head to head here. Super stuff. Andreas Johnson with the lead, and 2nd place is Troy Batchelor. And of course, this does put you up the pecking order in the pick and get positions in the final as well. So yeah, that was super. Great speedway between those two boys. A formality that it was, but well, smashing stuff. And well, we'll see them again in the final, and they congratulate each other. Super speedway race.
Super speedway race, and unexpected when they were both through to the final. But Andreas Johnson, I've got to say, full commitment there, wanted to win and got the win. Valuable 3 points for him.
Very much so. Second semi-final then. Jonsson and Bachelor through to the final. Mickey Pedersen and Kenneth Briere miss out. One heat to go, and that is the grand final.
Well, out of nowhere, we had to do it a lot, didn't we? We had to go to the tapes an awful lot. 4 starts, yeah, just the 4. And Andreas Johnson puts on quite a show here. Initially, it's Troy Bachelor, who makes a good start from the inside, hugs the inside, but look at Johnson with no other rider to worry about. Johnson had the luxury of being able to really use every inch of the track here, and he builds up this tremendous amount of momentum, and look at this. Comes roaring up the inside, very close indeed as they come into turns 3 and 4 for the second time of asking. Bachelor tried to get back up the inside, but couldn't quite get there. But this was it early on. Look how tight and hard they were racing. It was a formality, but I tell you what, they hadn't heard about it, had they? they were really having a good go. And Jonsson is 12 points. That's got to be one of the best returns he's had this year.
Yep, and now it's time for the riders to go and pick their gates for the final. AJ's probably forgotten what that's like for a final, because it's been a while. 22 GP finals and 134 appearances for AJ. And for Troy Bachelor, it's been a great night for him. It's his second final of his Grand Prix career in his 11th appearance.
Well, he's definitely, you know, rostrum material this evening, Bachelor, as is Andreas Johnson after that semi-final performance. I would think the other 2 finalists will be looking at that thinking, crikey, we're going to have to up our game if we're going to beat Andreas Johnson when he's got speed like that. And it would be a great boost for his morale if Andreas Johnson could win here this evening. As I said before, he's got 8 Grand Prix wins tonight, so he's not frightened to win on the biggest stage, is he? He can do it.
That's right, and Bachelor and Kilderman are only in their second final, and Christoph Kasperzak in his 10th final with 2 wins. AJ with 8 wins, so it's coming up. We just await.
Well, we'll wait the draw now, won't we?
Draw, the pick for gate positions.
The girls are ready. The boys won't be quite yet because Bachelor just dusting himself down, as will Andreas Johnson. They'll be making their way around to the area there. They're gathering up. Peter Kilderman, he's not quite. He's ready, but he's just ushered back. Here he comes now. Interesting pick here. He had gate 2 for the semi-final, and he goes gate 1 this time. Peter Kilderman off gate 1.
Where's AJ going?
Been a good gate. Andreas Johnson's up there double quick. I've got to say, he's still taking his breath from a remarkable ride in his semi-final. Gate 2 for AJ. This is quite an unusual lineup, but nonetheless, Bachelor goes for 4. Well, that's an interesting call. That's going to be... So now KK's been given gate 3, which may be an advantage.
Well, Christoph Kasperzak, who's scored 11 points tonight. And, that means that he's on 103, 2 points behind Ty Wolfenden. So it's fascinating, and just looking at it now, we have 11 points separating the top 4 in the world.
Yeah, good, isn't it? And Greg Hancock will be pretty pleased with the outcome of this. His lead will be still relatively healthy there on 112 points, but didn't turn up this time. And, you know, the injury clearly is very serious indeed, and he's had to work very hard to get back to fitness.
Well, that's the question as well. Just
will he be ready in 2 weeks' time?
Greg has kept his cards very close to his chest. He's not really given full details of exactly the extent of that, and who can blame him?
Quite clever.
The question mark is, how fit will he be in a fortnight's time?
Well, we'll have to wait for 2 days, won't we? And we'll be seeing that. I do know one thing, in his own backyard, he doesn't live very far from Stockholm. He'll be very keen to be in the Friends Arena.
Oh, just a bit.
He's never won a Grand Prix, so opportunity for him to do that in person this time.
Certainly is, yeah. Looking forward to it. Should be a terrific night there in Stockholm, and it is a fantastic arena, the Friends Arena, the second time that we'll have been there in Stockholm. Super City as well.
Yeah, loved it last year. It was dramatic, wasn't it? It was Woofenden crashed last year.
Oliver Woofenden.
Yeah, it was quite a night.
When we say love it because they crashed, we don't mean it really. It's just the drama, isn't it?
Well, I loved the event.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
And the stadium, it was just a great place to be. And these national stadiums where we can have motorsport events in is quite an achievement for the organiser. And there's a 3-year contract, so we've got 2 more visits there, and really looking forward to it.
Well, the final is upon us here in Vojens.
Peter Kilderman, could it be his night? Didn't quite manage to do it in Copenhagen, of course, but made the final that night, just got squeezed out of it. Kasperzak, of course, another opportunity for him. And he's focusing on the final. This is the big one for him, and he's found his consistency at this level. After losing his confidence, he snaps the knee ligaments in a pairs meeting in Germany early in the season when he had a very healthy lead in the World Championship.
Missed Finland.
He did. He had an 11-point lead, and it was then reduced to 1. And then he found it difficult, but it's looking good once again.
Very quick, absolutely. Troy Batchelor will be very, very pleased to be in the final. Fantastic. Peter Killerman, what a story it will be. And of course, from a British Speedway point of view, you've got 2 Swindon Robins in the final here. Peter Killerman and Troy Batchelor, teammates of the Robins, and they're in the playoffs as well. Looking good.
They are looking good, and the Robins have found top form of play. We saw them in sparkling form very recently in the league match in the UK. We're waiting for riders and bikes just to turn up. These 2 boys, of course, Batchelor and Jonsson, were in that second semi-final, so they had to work hard to get their bikes ready for the final. Jonsson was very impressive in semi-final number 2 when it was really a formality, but he rode like his life depended on it, and he got himself to the front. I've got to say that he must be in with a shout. It's a wide open race, this.
The final is on the way. It is. What a lineup. What a race it promises to be. Yeah, terrific lineup then here in Vojens in this grand final of the Nordic Speedway Grand Prix here at the Vojens Speedway Centre. If Christoph Kasperzak wins the race, he'll be second in the World Championship, points ahead of Woofenden and 6 behind Greg Hancock with 2 rounds to go.
Yeah, great opportunity for Kasperzak. Having missed the Grand Prix earlier on this year in Finland, I've got to say this is working out for him. But Kilderman will be a massive danger on the inside. He takes no prisoners, and he'll be very, very tough. Batchelor's ridden very well indeed, and AJ, that second semi-final, just showed what he is capable of.
Certainly did. So Troy Batchelor is in the second final of his career. Peter Killerman, a wild card. Can he do it? Grand final on the way. Here we go, Peter Killerman, the wild card, off the inside in red. Andreas Jonsson, great to see him back in the big time, off gate 2 in blue. Christoph Kasperzak with a win here, can go above Ty Woofenden into second place in the World Championship and go 6 behind Greg Hancock. And Troy Batchelor, the second final of his GP career, going off the outside. Peter Killerman, a true class display from the wild card here in Vojens tonight. 2 Swindon Robins teammates off the inside and outside. Killerman and Batchelor right for Swindon in the UK. They're in the playoffs and they're in the final here in Vojens.
Yeah, this is the one they're concentrating on now. Batchelor chose to go from the outside. That's a brave call from him. A very competitive lineup and a great opportunity for Christoph Kasperzak to go into second place in the world.
Here we go, it's a great start from Jonsson off gate number 2. What a start from Andreas Jonsson. Now Kasperzak goes around the outside. Batchelor up the inside into second place now. Kasperzak third. Killerman's going to take Kasperzak to the fence. Oh, what a move that was. Kasperzak's coming back from all, and now Kasperzak is going to close the gap on Batchelor. Oh, what a race this is. And Jonsson has the lead. And Killerman comes from second to last to second.
What a move from Peter Kilderman. Kasperzak absolutely stuffed Batchelor wide in that corner. Andreas Jonsson out in front. What a brilliant start from gate 2. Out in front, looking like he's going to win the Grand Prix.
Johnson, surely on his way to his 9th Grand Prix win of his career. It's Sweden's Andreas Johnson who wins the Nordic Speedway Grand Prix here at Vojens tonight. Peter Killerman second and Christoph Kasperzak third there, and that means that he is still third in the world, 1 point behind Ty Woffenden, who's come here tonight and has halved Greg Hancock's lead to 7, but he's only a point ahead of Kasperzak now, and that was a fantastic race of Speedway in the grand final.
Well, there was some tough Speedway going on there behind Andreas Johnson. He had a pretty straightforward final in actual fact, by making an excellent start out of gate 2, firing himself to the front and winning in fine style. A brilliant performance in semi-final number 2 from Andreas Johnson, and a massive return to form when it's been a very difficult season for him. Says he's found an engine he likes, and so it's proved he's the big winner on the evening. Got to say, Kasperzak had a hard race. He was ruthless on Bachelor, and that allowed Peter Kilderman, the wild card, to get up into 2nd place. Spectacular stuff.
Welcome back, AJ, to the top step of the podium. Where have you been all year? Peter Killerman second, Kasperzak was third. Now Killerman finishes top scorer on the night, but Johnson wins the GP for that wonderful ride in the final. Bachelor 13, Kasperzak finishes on 12 points. But Andreas Johnson hasn't felt like this for a while.
No.
He's a winner of a Grand Prix.
Again, for the 9th time, and he was world number 2 just 2 or 3 years ago. And he's had a desperately disappointing time this year, and suddenly, out of nowhere, he produces a performance that we know he's capable of, and he's giving himself a lifeline for next season to be a Grand Prix rider. What a start he makes! He makes an absolutely textbook start. He would have been absolutely delighted with that, and as he comes off that first corner and down the back straight on the opening lap, he would have been believing, right, it's going to be my night. Off the first turn. Bachelor up the inside into 2nd place early doors, but then there are some really strong moves. Peter Kilderman taking Kasperzak to the fence. Kasperzak responds, gets up the inside, but look at this move now. Kasperzak comes right up the inside of Bachelor and takes Bachelor almost to the fence as they start the 2nd lap. Andreas Johnson misses all the fireworks that are going on behind him, and he wins in fine style. And could this be just the catalyst he needs, with 2 Grand Prix to go, one in his home country, of course, to salvage his season and finish up in the top 8? He will have a chance. Great ride from AJ, and terrific to see.
Great stuff. Let's hear from AJ with Chris Louis.
Winner of the Nordic FIM Speedway Grand Prix, back on the top step. Congratulations, Andreas Johnson.
Oh, thank you very much. You know, I think I'm more released than happy, you know, because it's been such a tough year for me, and now coming back here and have a decent Grand Prix, but ending up winning it, and you know, I don't think I realized it yet.
You told me earlier that tonight was going to be your night, a fantastic racetrack, a huge crowd. You must have enjoyed yourself.
I did, you know, I just phoned up my engine tuner after the practice yesterday and said, hey, got a new engine, and it worked fantastic, you know, and thanks, Ash.
Congratulations, well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, Ashley Holloway, who looks after Emil Saifutinov, of course, in the past, will be delighted with that as well. And once you get that confidence in your equipment, and then nothing can hold you back. Here we see the standings.
Yep, so Hancock, who wasn't here tonight, we wish him well, of course, 112. Ty Woffenden 105, Kasperzak 104, Mickey Pedersen 101. 4 riders, 11 points between them, and Matti Zegar's on 97. So, brilliant stuff. And here we see Andreas Johnson about to take to the top step of the podium here in Vojens as winner of the Nordic FIM Speedway Grand Prix. He has ridden quite beautifully tonight, and that was a majestic ride in the final, using all his experience. And it's just a question of where have you been all year, AJ?
Well, you look at that, he's got bloodshot eyes there. I think he might have had a tear or two. I think it's quite an emotional moment for him. Because I'll tell you what, when you're going through a hard time, Speedway can be a really tough game to be involved in.
Well, Vojens got on that 1, 2, 3. Jonsson, Kilderman, Kasperzak. Jonsson out of form, but was ridden brilliantly tonight.
Well, no surprise to see Kilderman in there. I fancied him for the final. With Ben Blash in the FIM coming up to give the third place to Christoph Kasperzak. He's in there, isn't he? He's battling away, very consistent. He's had 3 rostrums on the spin, a win and 2 third places, so he's well and truly involved in this championship chase.
He's very consistent, isn't he? Moments. Very, very quick. Here we go for the runners-up position. First before your second point.
Yeah, good stuff and a great reception. The home crowd have thoroughly enjoyed his efforts tonight. He has been terrific and, you know, close to winning this evening. But the night belongs to Andreas Jonsson, Nigel. That is quite an emotional win for him, I believe.
Yeah, you were right. You mentioned about bloodshot eyes and you looked at him as the national anthem has been played. He has had it here.
Yeah, he has. That shows how much it is such a tough game when it's not going right for you. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, your engine tuning produces something extra special and the confidence just comes flooding back. And the Swedes will be pleased, but there'll be no happier man than that man this evening. That has given him a lifeline for his World Prix future, without question.
That's brilliant. The photographs from the international press, magazines, websites, newspapers, and the champagne will follow very shortly. Traditionally, we move on to Stockholm in a couple of weeks' time, where AJ will have loads of support.
Yeah.
I just wonder whether that might sell a few more ticket sales as well in a couple of weeks' time.
Well, it's got to, hasn't it? Yeah. You know, very good timing, AJ. Thank you very much indeed.
My business hat on when I mentioned that. I think fair play to him. Good timing, AJ.
Yeah, good, sparkling times, champagne moments. He hasn't experienced this for some considerable time, so it'll be awfully sweet for him. I'm sure once it all sinks in, I'm sure he'll be chuffed a bit. Actually shocked almost with the level of success he's enjoyed this evening. I would think it's probably been sort of remote winning of all 3 times this year. Yes. And then suddenly turned around with disproportion. Taken it by surprise.
Well, it's a huge achievement tonight because for tonight, we'll remind you, Andreas Jonsson was 14th out of the 15 permanent Grand Prix riders. He's now won a GP. What a turnaround, and with 2 rounds left to go as well, one in his home country. Well, it's good times for Andreas Jonsson. There's no reason, I'm sure, why he can't kick off the end to the season.
Well, you'd like to think so. He is a confidence rider, and if I can keep that engine running as it is tonight, then who knows, he might well be able to achieve great things in the next series. But there's several other riders, of course, haven't much to say about that. Plain sailing, but the championship title race is wide open. Greg Hancock will be sleeping tonight fairly soundly. It's a 7-point lead with 2 rounds to go. 2 more weeks to get fit for that meeting in Stockholm with Prince Arena. That's all right. Good pictures this, and of course Kasperzak. Woofenden will be fitter, of course, so that'll be super stuff.
That'll be 5 weeks since Woofenden's injury. We hope you've enjoyed it tonight. We wish Kenneth Pierre well after his injury, of course, and thanks for joining us, and respect to every single one of these riders who've put on a great show. Thanks for your company, Kelvin. See you in Stockholm in a couple of weeks' time. Round number 10 of the Speedway World Championship came back to Vojens after an absence of 2 years. The Speedway Grand Prix was back at the Vojens Speedway Centre, purpose-built speedway track with a rich and proud history. Ty Woofenden smiling before the meeting. That was before the reigning world champion took to the track with the serious hand injury sustained 3 weeks earlier in a British League meeting. But Woofenden was able to take to the track, although early on it started badly as Woofenden touched the tapes in his opening ride and was disqualified by the referee. Nicky Pedersen also in the World Championship contention, looking good early on, laying a marker down, looking super quick, as was Christoph Kasperzak from Poland. Bit of drama between Kasperzak and Lindgren early on, but after that, Kasperzak kicked on and rode beautifully. Pedersen and Kilderman, 1 or 2 words between the 2 Danes as well after this incident. Pedersen hitting the fence down the back straight. It was tough, it was ruthless, but the World Championship's on the line, as is a place in the top 8, and there was some fantastic speedway action all the way through the meeting. The racing was superb. Nicky Pedersen coming to grief. His night was ended in the semi-finals by Michael Jensen looking good. Over 15,000 fans packed into the Vojens Speedway Centre and really enjoying their speedway. One or two delays because the riders were a little bit nervous at the start line, but when it came to the battle for the world title, Ty Woffington ended up on 7 points and closed the gap on the absent leader Greg Hancock by half. 7 points the difference at the top of the standings. Drama in the semi-final. Kenneth Pierre hitting into the deck very heavily. He was going to go out for a rerun, but then when it needed another restart for an unsatisfactory start, he decided to pull out. Then all the way through to the grand final, Nicky Pedersen disqualified for that incident on Troy Batchelor, not the chair, Troy Batchelor. And then Batchelor and Jonsson went through to the final, and it was a superb final as well with Kilderman and Andreas Jonsson, who picked up the 10th win of his Grand Prix career.